of Newberry meeting at the center of the field with the captains. Westchester has won the toss and has deferred to the second half. Bloomsburg will receive the football and move right to left as we view it, along with Newberry on the officiating staff today. The umpires Ed Tucker, the linesman Mark Andrew, the line judge Chris Gorson, the field judge Tom Compton, the back judge Joe Yoakum, the clock is Jim Schimpf, and the 25 seconds clock is John Linetti. Those are the officials on hand. It's a cold, damp, dreary day at Redmond Stadium, and that
33 wins, 8 losses, and 1 tie. This afternoon, the Huskies are seeking at least a share of their 4th consecutive Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference Eastern Division title. Coach Dan Hale and his staff would like you to join them in recognizing the 1997 senior players who have led the way in establishing Bloomsburg football as one of the top programs in the PSAC and NCAA Division II. At this time, we would like to introduce the senior players. A 5'10", 226-pound linebacker from Bellefontaine, number 43, Chris Takeoff. A 6', 213-pound linebacker from Stratford, New Jersey, number 52, Jay Ross. A 6'1", 294-pound center from Reading, Pennsylvania, number 67, Victor Brown. A 6'1", 266-pound defensive tackle from Manheim, Pennsylvania, number 96, Gary Curry. A 5'10", 201-pound kicker from Allentown, number 91, Jim Payne. A 5'11", 202-pound defensive back from Bloomsburg, PA, number 48, Ben Chemical. A 5'7", 231-pound running back from Spring Grove, PA, number 38, John Johnson. A 6', 198-pound wide receiver from Bloomsburg, New Jersey, number 28, Ron Wellhall. A 6'4", 271-pound offensive tackle from Halifax, PA, number 74, Adam Wright. A 6'1", 206-pound running back from Philadelphia, number 23, Irvin Ziegler. 5'8", 230-pound center from Ellertown, Pennsylvania, number 69, Eric Burno. A 6'2", 270-pound offensive tackle from Homestead, PA, number 72, Bill Stacy. And a 6'1", 177-pound defensive back from Mountaintop, Pennsylvania, number 24, Dave Duransky.
The signal from referee Bob Newberry. There it is. The kick is high and long toward the near sideline. Eichert takes it at his 3. Out over the 10, the 15. Now cuts the near sideline over the 20 and the 25 and out near the 30-yard line. So a nice return by Steve Eichert. The Huskies will put it in play 1st and 10 at right about their 29. We'll call it the 28. Make it the 28-yard line. That's where Bloomsburg will have it 1st and 10.
25-yard return. Excellent return. He got a couple great blocks right at the critical point at about the 13, 14-yard line, and really did a great job moving from there.
Freshman quarterback Eric Miller brings his ball club to the line of scrimmage. The backs are in the eye. Lelko split wide right. That's Ron. Wide left. That's Mike. Back to handoff to Irv Sigler off the left side, and he's tripped up there quickly by number 95. That's Rob Colentrell. We'll give you that Westchester defense. Sean Coleman, Rob Colentrell, Courtney Williams, and Tom Burnley across the front. 2 seniors and 2 juniors. It's a veteran front. Marcellus Simmons is one of the linebacker. Kirk Bordleray the other. Ben Tonin in the middle. 83 tackles, 3 fumble recoveries, 11.5 tackles for loss, and 6.5 sacks. He's a good one. We'll give you the rest of that defense after this play. Miller takes the snap, hands it off to on the delay to Sigler again. A nice run out over the 35 and the 40 and first down yardage. So Irv Sigler on his first 2 carries of the ball game, and the Huskies have a first down. Nice job by Sigler.
Certainly was, and he got great turnout blocks that time from his tackle and on the left side, and also an excellent block by 63 Bear inside. It just drove this man right to the inside. That's tough.
First and 10 for the Huskies. The call goes straight ahead to the fullback, John Johnson. He'll get a few yards out near the 45-yard line. So Johnson on his first carry of the ball game. The rest of that defense for Westchester, number 3, Lamont Johnson, is on a corner along with Markeith Taylor. The free safety is Mark Fields, and the strong safety is Paul Barasevich. So those are the defensive players for Westchester. Bloomsburg now, after the Johnson run from the 41 out to the 44, 3 yards for him. 2nd and 7 for the Huskies from the Bloomsburg 44. Miller calling the signals. The backs again in the eye with Loco split wide right and left. Miller rolls to his right, looking to pass, finding Ron Loco. He's behind the defender, has him turned. And that defender back there was number 6, Vince Elsie. And I'm telling you, Tom, he never saw the football, and he was lucky that Ron Loco could not come down with that catch.
He certainly was, and I think he dodged a bullet for face guarding also in that situation, Jim. The only thing he did right was he didn't put his hands up in the air. If he'd have put his hand in the air without turning around, they would have called him on it. But that was very, very close. Excellent throw, by the way.
3rd and 7 now for the Huskies from the Bloomsburg 44. We see Brett Kozlowski come into the ballgame along with Randy Davidson. That means the one-back offense. That's Kozlowski. Ron Loco and Davidson split to the right. Miller rolls that way, throws it low and outside, and Loco can't come up with it. So the pass is incomplete from Eric Miller. He threw it where only one person could catch it. Ron Loco couldn't quite do it. 4th and 7 for the Huskies from their 44. They'll punt the football away.
He also got hit as he threw the ball, Jim, so that would tend to drive that ball a little further to the outside.
Joe Costello, the freshman, on to punt for the Huskies. He's standing at about his own 30-yard line. Deep for Westchester is number 10. We'll check that player. He is Bill Lowe. Sorry, that's one of those split ends for Westchester. He's back on the punt, and he slides underneath the ball at about the Westchester 30. So the Costello punt, not a very long one. Lowe fair catches it and slides to a stop at about the 30. That's where Westchester will put it in play. 1st and 10, their own 30-yard line.
The 26 yards on the punt.
First quarter of play, 13:01 and counting. No score here. Bloomsburg, Westchester, PSAC Eastern Division action. Jim Hollister, Tom Lynn, our spotter Mike Southworth from Robert B. Redmond Stadium on the campus of Bloomsburg. Quarterback Mike Mitros brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Conrad Quarles, the fullback. Thomas Fulton dots the I at the tail. Lowe's now in motion from the left side this way. The call will go to Fulton off the left side. Not a lot doing. The line surges it out over that 30. Some blocking up front, not bad on that left side by 62 Vance Rowe and 50 Kristen Vigna. We'll check the spot call at the 33. 3 yards for Fulton on his first carry of the ball game. Again, we'll remind you he averages 113, almost 114 a game. 2nd and 7 for the Rams from the Westchester 33.
Westchester out of huddle very quickly.
Call goes again to Fulton on the delay. He kicks it to the outside, off the left side, out over the 40, and he'll get first down yardage. So a nice decision by Thomas Fulton. He didn't see a hole in the middle, kicked it to the outside, and picked up some good yardage.
Had a good block that time from McFillan, the tackle, or the right guard. Hooked the end for Bloomsburg in that time, and he was able to turn to the outside and pick up, what, about 9, 10?
Give him 9 on it. 1st and 10 for the Rams from the Westchester 42. Give you that Bloomsburg University defense. Tony Brown and Justin Vent are the defensive ends. Gary Fittery and Chris Luff, 2 good tackles up the middle. John Impt is the middle linebacker. He's flanked by Chris Acuff and Jay Brook. In the secondary, the corners are Michael Roberts and John Zalos. The strong safety is Jay Zaransky, and the free safety is Ben Hennikel. Mitros brings his team to the line of scrimmage again. Split wide to the left is Bill Lowe. Wide to the right is 13 Greg Bailey. Call straight ahead to Fulton. He loses his footing. You'll hear that happen many, many times today, I'm sure, because it is a wet field, as we said. Field in good shape, but there's a lot of water on it. We'll call it the 42-yard line. No gain for Fulton. 2nd and 10 for the Rams from their 42.
Again, that time the Huskies had sealed things up. Good defensive play in there by number 50 for the Huskies. That's Tony Brown, and he stacked everything up, enabling the middle linebacker to come over and make a very, very good play.
Double receivers to the left now. Lowe comes in motion. Truitt remains there. Mitros the call straight ahead to Conrad Quarles, and he bulls ahead near the 45-yard line. Actually, we gave Fulton a yard on that first carry, so it was 2nd and 9 for the Rams from their 43. Now Quarles on his first carry of the day will call it out over the 44, give him the 45, 2 yards for Quarles. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Rams from the 45.
That time I called an inside set to the right side. They moved the left tackle down and a set in a gap right off the center shoulder, and Westchester ran right into it.
Low in motion again. The Huskies jump off sides. We see flags fly. Mitros now running for his life from Tony Brown. Lets it fly, intended for Greg Bailey on this near sideline. It's incomplete, but we'll check the flags. I think the Huskies jumped.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, but boy, great coverage downfield that time by Michael Roberts. And they tried to throw into that, and I'm not sure if I was Westchester, having seen Roberts play the first game of the year, just the way he plays the game, I'm not sure I'd pick on him too often.
Well, we look out there and see number 35, Trent Flick, in the ball game. That freshman has made a real impact from Central Columbia now, and he's seeing a lot of playing time as this season progresses. Flick's on the field now. We're still waiting for Bob Newberry's call. I thought it was a simple one to call. I guess it's not as simple as I thought. They're still talking about it. The flag's lying on the ground right at the line of scrimmage. Thought it was offsides. We're still talking, and no.
They had a backfield in motion and offsides, neutral zone violation. They offset.
That's why they talked about it a while. There were 2 of them. So they indeed will offset. We'll replay the down. That down is 3rd and 7 from the Westchester 45-yard line.
They had a flanker to this right side, Jim, and the flag dropped by the line judge on this side. That was his call, and he made the call that the man had moved, the flanker had moved. So
early in the first quarter play, no score from Redmond Stadium. Lowe and Truitt now split wide to the right. The backs are in the eye. Bailey is the lone receiver to the left. Mitros goes that way and hands it off to Thomas Fulton. Turns it upfield, will not get to the sticks. Wonderful pursuit by those Bloomsburg linebackers. Impt, Acup, Brook, and John Zalos came up to help. So all the Huskies showed up in a hurry, and Fulton will not get to the sticks. It started at the 45. He actually got it out to the 48-yard line. Give him 3 yards. It'll bring up a 4th and 4 from the Westchester 48. The Golden Rams will punt the football away. Their punter is number 83, Bean. He's also the kickoff man. So Bean does the kicking for this ball club. Standing back deep for the Huskies is number 12. That's Eichert. He gets it at about his own 14. Jukes and jives and comes out over the 15 toward the 20-yard line. So a good punt by Bean and a short return by Steve Eichert. The Huskies will have it for the 2nd time today.
38 yards in the punt with a 3-yard return.
So Bloomsburg will have the football for the 2nd time today. They'll start at their own 18-yard line. Westchester moved the ball a little bit on their first series. Bloomsburg did the same and then gave it away. 10-13, first quarter play. No score from Robert B. Redmond Stadium in Bloomsburg. Eric Miller brings his Huskies to the line of scrimmage. The backs are in the eye. That's Johnson with Sigler dotting it. Lelkos split wide right and left. The call goes to Sigler on the delay. Gets out over the 20-yard line. Not a lot of yardage there. Now, we've watched Irvin Sigler a lot throughout the course of this season, and you may wrap him up for a while, but sooner or later, he's going to pound away at you and get you if previous history has any indication. It's at the 22-yard line. Give Herb Sigler 4 on the carry. 2nd and 6 now from the Bloomsburg 22.
Jim, he made a right decision, and as long as Westchester tries to defend that tight end side the way they are, they're going to have a problem.
Sigler now in motion, and he gets the pass reception from Eric Miller, bounces off one tackler and gets out of bounds. So if they're going to watch him in the backfield getting the handoffs, why not send him out there in motion? The Huskies did it, and they were successful. We'll check the spot. It's a 1st down for Bloomsburg.
Jim, the other reason you send him out there is because he was going to the sideline and caught that ball on the back hip. I mean, that is an unbelievable catch. Great hands.
If a player is going to go to the NFL, a running back, they need to have the hands to catch the ball. Irv Sigler showed wonderful hands on that one. They're in the eye now behind Miller. All kinds of jump, and the play won't get started. One of the Westchester defenders came across. We'll see if he was drawn across by a Bloomsburg lineman. So let's check that one. The officials conferring. Now, Irv Sigler has all kinds of records. The most important one, when he gets to 26 yards today, he will become the all-time leading rusher in Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference history. That record of 48.05 held by Michael Mann of Indiana. So Irv Sigler started the ball game with 4,780 yards. That was offsides Westchester on that last play, so it'll be 1st and 5 for the Huskies now. The play will come from the Bloomsburg 34. Irv Sigler on the delay, now bounces it outside. He's not going to go anywhere. Wrapped up there by number 94, Robert Bowens, a 6'4", 270-pound senior out of Northern Lehigh, and Bowens got there in a hurry, and Sigler will lose yardage.
He'll lose about 4 on him. I have him with 14 yards now, Jim.
So we'll watch his yard count, bump that one back to the 31, a loss of 3 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Huskies from their own 31-yard line. Mike Lelko now splits wide to the right. Ron Lelko comes to the near side to the left. The backs are in the eye. Miller calling signals. Westchester feigns blitz, but doesn't really come and won't. Miller rolls to his left, looking for Ron Lelko. Now lets it fly into coverage. Almost picked off, and is tipped and caught by Ron Lelko. Oh, boy, Vince Elsie had it in his hands at the 47 of Westchester. Couldn't hang on to it, and Ron Lelko did. He came up with the big catch. So it'll move the sticks. Eric Miller to Ron Lelko. The play started at the Bloomsburg 31. It's now at the Westchester 46-yard line. Big play for Bloomsburg.
Yeah, Jim, I got him at 23 yards on the play. 3rd first down. Great play. Great concentration on Lelko.
46-yard line of Westchester. 1st and 10 for Bloomsburg. The call to Sigler off the left side. There's a hole there. Inside the 40. Now the 35. The 30. Knocks somebody backwards. The 25. A wonderful run by Irv Sigler, and flags at the end. So we'll check those flags. Might be of the face mask variety. But Irv Sigler with one of those runs to show why he is who he is. Bob Newberry, the referee, conferring with his side judge.
Jim, that'll give him the 26 yards that he needs. I've got him for 18, depending on where they spot that ball.
The play started at the 46. It's a personal foul, face mask against the Golden Rams of Westchester.
They're going to spot it, Jim, at the 24.
Give Sigler the 24-yard line. So that was 22 yards on the carry, and then a big walk-off with the face mask at the end of it. That's bad news for the Rams of Westchester. The ball will go to the Bloomsburg 12. The 1st and 10, or the Westchester 12, excuse me, 1st and 10 for the Huskies at the Westchester 12-yard line. Ron Lelko wide to the right, Mike Lelko wide to the left. The backs are in the eye. Miller rolls to his right, looking for Lelko in the end zone, lets it fly, and touchdown Bloomsburg.
Oh, what a tremendous job by Lelko that time. He went down, drove into the defensive back, and turned his body, literally stopped, and kept the Westchester man behind him, and then broke to the ball when it was thrown. I mean, you cannot be a receiver and do it better than that.
8:08 to go in the first quarter of play. Bloomsburg draws first blood. Eric Miller, 12 yards to Ron Lelko. The Huskies are on the board. Tom Boop on to attempt the extra point. The snap's a good one. The hold is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 8:08 to go, first quarter play. Huskies of Bloomsburg 7, Westchester nothing. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Right here, the Huskies of Bloomsburg University have jumped on top first. A beautiful 7-play, 82-yard drive. Ron Lelko with 2 wonderful, wonderful catches. The first was a tipped play at about the Westchester 46-yard line. We thought Vince Elsie of Westchester would pick it off. He did not, and that was a mistake. The Huskies drove to the 12, and from there, Eric Miller with the touchdown pass to Lelko. Bloomsburg leads this one. Tom Boop's kickoff now high and deep. Bill Lowe circles under it at the Westchester 7. Out over the 10 and the 15, the 20, still on his feet, 25, 30, 35-yard line. So Bill Lowe with a nice return for Westchester to give them pretty good field position. Bloomsburg leads this one 7-0 now. Westchester will have to bounce back. See if the Golden Rams will respond. 7:57 to go, first quarter play. Bloomsburg leads 7-0.
Jim, give me 28-yard return.
Westchester 35-yard line is where we'll call it. Mitros under center. The backs are in the eye. Quarles and Fulton. Low now in motion from this left side. The call goes to Fulton off the left side. Not much doing. Good pursuit by that Husky front. Chris Loft, number 98. Justin Vent, number 60. Gary Fittery, 96 there. That's a good front four. Danny Hale thinks maybe one of the best in his 5 years at Bloomsburg, and they showed it right there.
Jay Brook at time with an excellent play also.
Fulton gets 1 yard on the carry, so 2nd and 9 for the Rams from the Westchester 36-yard line. So far, Fulton not able to break free. Sigler wasn't for Bloomsburg early, and then he did and knocked off some runs. We'll watch Fulton. Mitros now under center, rolls to his left, hands it again on the delay to Fulton. Not a lot doing on that left side again. Wonderful pursuit by Chris Loff and others on that side. So Jay Brook there again. So not a lot doing for the Westchester running attack right now off that left side. Give Fulton out to the 38-yard line, so 2 on that play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7 from the Westchester 38.
Loft that time kept his outside arm free and just pursued right down the line.
Mitros now rolls to his right, looking out here for his receiver. That's True at the tight end, and the flags will fly. He fell down or was knocked down. The official says knocked. We didn't see the play real clearly. They're going to call Jay Zaransky for pass interference on the tight end Truitt.
Watching that thing that time, what happened is Jay Zaransky broke to make the play. The feet got tangled up, and he was going for the ball other than the tippy parts of his little toes got in the road. And he's down there pleading his case right now, and the back official's the one that called it. He said, nah, he said, I think you tripped him.
Yeah, well, he can plead his case all he wants because the football is now lying on the Bloomsburg side of the 50. We'll call it the Bloomsburg 49-yard line. The play started at the Westchester 38, so the Rams pick up 13 yards on that pass interference call on Jay Zaransky against Tom Truitt. So it'll be 1st and 10 now from the Bloomsburg 49-yard line. Westchester in Bloomsburg territory for the first time today. The backs are in the eye. The call goes to Thomas Fulton off the left side. A little bit of running room there. Somebody got a hold of a leg when he got through there. One of those linebackers. That's John Imp, the middle linebacker. He got a leg of Thomas Fulton. So Fulton picks up a couple of yards down the 45. Give him 4. We'll call it 2nd and 6 from the Bloomsburg 45-yard line. First quarter of play, 6:24 and counting. Bloomsburg leads Westchester 7-0. Mitros now under center. Low split wide to the right. Bailey split wide left. Quarles and Fulton in the eye behind him. Bloomsburg jumps again. Fulton off the right side. Not much doing, but I think the Huskies might be guilty of that offsides and a little bit of over-anxiousness.
Besides that, they were moving a little quick, Jim.
Offsides indeed is the call by referee Bob Newberry. So the walk-off from the 45-yard line will take it 5 yards to the 40, and that's indeed where the umpire will put it down. So 5 yards there. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1 from the Bloomsburg 40. So a couple of penalties now have helped keep this Westchester drive alive. Mitros now rolls to his left, looking out to the left side, and Bill Lowe fell down. Now, those are those slippery conditions out there, folks. That was not Mitros' fault. That was not Bill Lowe's fault. It's very, very wet, a long overnight rain, heavy rains at times, well into this morning, some drizzle this morning. It is not raining right now. It is cold and damp, and the field is very, very wet. So the incomplete pass makes it now 3rd and 1. I should correct myself, and the last one was 2nd down. The penalty didn't lose them a down. So 3rd and 1 now from the Bloomsburg 40-yard line following that incomplete pass. The backs are in the eye. The Rams need a short 1-yard line and all kinds of jumping again, and the umpire threw the flag right at the nose of Gary Fittery. So we'll check it. No question in this man's mind what he has. Offsides, Bloomsburg will be the call again. So Westchester will get that first down the easy way. 1st and 10 for the Rams now. The march off will be to the Bloomsburg 35.
The Huskies not doing themselves any good in this series. So.
That is an understatement right now. That's the 3rd penalty, a big pass interference penalty against Jay Zaransky for 13 yards, and now 2 offsides penalties against the Huskies. 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 35. Mitros under center with Bailey split wide right, Low wide to the left. The call will go to Thomas Fulton. Jukes and jives and now finds himself a hole inside the 30-yard line and down near the 25. So Thomas Fulton picked up a little bit of yardage there. He doesn't average almost 114 yards a game doing nothing. The ball will go all the way to the Bloomsburg 27. Yeah, check a 27-yard line indeed. Give him 8 yards on that play. Nice run by Fulton, 2nd and 2.
Excellent execution of the sprint draw.
The backs are now split behind Mitros. Low split wide to the left. Bailey wide to the right. The call goes to Fulton on that offset back deal and inside the 25-yard line, close to first down yardage. So that's the first look today that Westchester's given of the split backs, and it's successful. The ball goes inside the 25. We'll give him the 23, 4 yards for Fulton. 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 23. So we talked about them answering the Bloomsburg score. To this point, they've done it with a little help from the Huskies, but they've done it. Backs are in the eye now. Mike Mitros under the center. Back to pass, looking over the middle, dumps it out there to nobody. Boy, the Huskies defense that well.
Out there.
And I think that Thomas Fulton fell down because he wasn't throwing it to that lineman. Actually, he hit the back of one of his offensive linemen, 62 Vance Rowe, and I'll guarantee you that's not where Mike Mitros was intending that ball to go.
Well,
Fulton was on the ground.
Well, Fulton was on the ground because one of the Huskies coming saw him trying to sneak out, and they just planted him right there. I didn't catch the number, but it was an excellent defensive play.
2nd and 10 now for the Golden Rams from the Bloomsburg 23-yard line. Mitros on the sprint draw to Fulton. The Huskies look like they have it read pretty well. Fulton gets a couple of yards after good Bloomsburg pursuit. So Thomas Fulton on the sprint draw, and I'm not going to say sprint draw every play, folks, because almost always when it's the tailback in these two offenses, it's going to be a sprint draw. Down to the 21-yard line, give Fulton 2. So bring up a 3rd and 8 from the Bloomsburg 21. Cold, damp, dreary day, Robert B. Redmond Stadium, Bloomsburg. PSAC Eastern Division action. It's the Westchester Golden Rams, the Huskies of Bloomsburg. 4:12 and counting. First quarter play. Bloomsburg leads 7-0, but Westchester's on the move. Mitros now back to pass. Pumps, doesn't have anybody, has to tuck it and run. Tries for that first down yardage. So Mike Mitros on the quarterback keeper, not an intentional one, had a run for his life, got it down to the 15-yard line. So 6 for Mitros. We'll call it a 4th and 2 for the Westchester Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 15. It's decision time.
Well, it looks like they're going to go for the thing.
Rick Daniels is not going to take long to make that decision. No punter, no field goal kicker, nobody on the field but that offense. Mike Mitros under the center. Double receiver split wide to the right. The call goes to Fulton off the right side. He bulls ahead, and it's going to be very, very close. I don't think they got there.
No, he's going to miss it, Jim, by a yard and a half.
So Thomas Fulton ran into a stack of Huskies, and those maroon jerseys are coming off the field in a very, very good mood. Fulton gets it just inside the 15. Give him 1 yard. They needed 2, and the Golden Rams turn it over on downs. Great defensive stand by Bloomsburg when it counted.
I tell you what, that's a big decision. You have to remember that one, Jim. They were in chip shot of a field goal, so we'll see what that costs them down the road.
It's that kind of day, too. Those points might mean a lot. We don't know if it's going to rain anymore today. The field's already very, very wet. The weather right now, just very cold, but not raining. Eric Miller now for the Huskies on the sprint draw to Irv Sigler off the right side. Gets a couple of yards into the secondary, And the tackle made there in the secondary by number 36, Paul Barasevich. So out near the 20-yard line. So give Sigler 6 more. Now, earlier in the ball game, he did become the Pennsylvania Conference's all-time leading rusher. He broke that career mark of Michael Mann. So Irvin Sigler is now number 1 in another category. That's not a surprise. They've fallen all year long. 2nd and 4 for the Huskies from the Bloomsburg 20-yard line now. The backs are in the eye. The call goes again to Sigler off the right side out over the 20 and drugged down there on the outside by number 46 of Westchester.
Also 55 in that play.
That's Greg Swartz. He's a freshman linebacker, so Swartz credited with the tackle on that far side. Gives Sigler from the 20 out near the 24-yard line. So 4 more for Urban. And we'll call it 3rd and a long 2 from the Bloomsburg 23. Eric Miller's pass now to Ron Loco, and he makes another one of those Loco catches. Oh, boy, does he have a pair of hands. He comes down with a beauty on this right side at the 30-yard line, and the Huskies will move the sticks. Tom, he catches everything.
Yeah, sure does, without a doubt. Going to give him, what, 7
to the 29-yard line. Indeed, 7 yards. Miller to Loco. 1st and 10 for the Huskies from their own 29-yard line. Ron Loco, now we'll watch his reception record. He's going for the school record. 9 more catches, actually 10 to break it, and he'll have the all-time career reception lead at Bloomsburg, and it's because of catches like that. Irv Sigler now on the delay. Jukes one man, and now the rest of the Golden Rams show up. Number 94, Robert Bowens, will get credit for the tackle. Now, along with number 97, Tom Burnley. Kirk Bordleway was the man who made great penetration. He couldn't get his mitts on Sigler, but he made good penetration. The ball will go, stay right at the 29. So give Irvin no gain on that play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Huskies from their 29.
Jim, I have Loco now with 3 receptions. He has total 42 yards.
Eric Miller now under the center. The slot was Ron Loco. That's where the pass will go. No, now to Mike Loco out over the 40-yard line. So Locos were both split to the right. Ron Loco went in motion. That drew the attention of the Golden Rams of Westchester, and Eric Miller connects with Mike Loco, the younger brother. So Mike Loco, who's going to be a good one, the more catches he makes, he just continues to chase his brother. He's got 3 more years to do that. Call it the 40-yard line, so 11 yards on the pass play there. 1st and 10 for the Huskies at their own 41-yard line. They lead in this one 7-0. We're inside a minute in the first quarter play. The call now straight ahead to the fullback, John Johnson, and not a lot doing. Boy, I'll tell you, here's a guy who doesn't get a lot of credit, the fullback. He blocks his tail off on a lot of plays, doesn't get a lot of carries in a ball game, and boy, then he gets punished on that one. Give him one. It was a nice run by Johnson, but he ran into 5 Westchester defenders led by number 55, Ben Tonin. Now, that's the first time today we've called his name, but I'll tell you what, he's around the football every time. He's a good one.
I bet the guy that could help smiling over is Johnson.
2nd and 9 now for the Huskies from the Bloomsburg 42-yard line. Inside of 15 seconds and counting. Irv Sigler on the draw off the left side out near the 45-yard line. So Irvin Sigler picks up a couple more, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. After 1 quarter, it's Bloomsburg 7 and the Westchester Golden Rams nothing. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Millersville East Stroudsburg game in the back of the Bloomsburg University Huskies' minds, because if they can win here today and East Stroudsburg loses at Millersville, this Eastern Division race is over again for another year, and Bloomsburg will have that 4th consecutive Eastern Division title. Okay, following that timeout at the end of the first quarter play, the Huskies face a 3rd and 6 at their own 45. Miller rolls to his right, hits his tight end, Kerry O'Brien, and he is railed by number 3, Lamont Johnson, and he held on to it. Kerry O'Brien is down. He is hurt, but Tom, I cannot believe he held on to that football. And Tom Lynn, this doesn't look real good.
It's a lot better than what I first thought, Jim. Actually, he's talking and rinsing his mouth out right now, so he is moving the jaw part, but they've been working on the nose, and it looks like it's been rearranged. That was called plastic surgery. He's smiling coming off.
Well, there's no question that hit, folks, was helmet to face. And it was Lamont Johnson's helmet and Kerry O'Brien's face. Okay, he's up now, and on the sidelines, 14:54 to go in the second quarter of play. It's Bloomsburg 7 and Westchester nothing. Following that delay, the Huskies will have it 1st and 10 at the Golden Ram 49-yard line. Eric Miller under center. The backs Johnson and Sigler behind him in the eye. Loco split wide left. That's Ron, and right, that's Mike. The call goes on the sprint draw to Irv Sigler behind his fullback, John Johnson. Not much doing there. Good pursuit by that Westchester defense. Number 7, Marcellus Simmons, a 5'11", 200-pound junior out of Easton and Notre Dame High School, got there in a hurry. Gives Sigler the 48-yard line, so 1 yard for Irvin on that one. 2nd and 9 for the Huskies from the Westchester 48-yard line.
Jim Ziegler had 45 yards at the end of the first period on 9 carries.
Eric Miller under center. The backs are in the I. Loco split wide left and right. Miller looks for somebody to hand off. Now pitches to Ziegler, and the ball's on the ground, and Irvin has to run it down. So Irvin Ziegler covered that football. We'll give that loss on the rush to Eric Miller, the quarterback, because he was the one that tossed it to Ziegler. Ziegler never had the football. It'll go all the way back inside the Huskies' 45-yard line. Ziegler had to just cover the football there. So from the 48 of Westchester, bump it back 7 yards on the loss to Miller, bring up a 3rd and 16 from the Bloomsburg 45-yard line. Tom, not a wise decision by the freshman quarterback.
Well, it was a wise decision, but he just didn't follow through. He just pitched that without looking as to where Ziegler was that time. He had to pitch it the way the defense came at him, but you have to look at the ball into the man that you're pitching it to, and he didn't do it that time.
3rd and 16 for the Huskies. Now Miller rolls to his left. Good pressure coming from that Westchester front. Now he has to run for his life. He's not gone far. The pressure came up the middle from number 93, Kevin Verbosch, a 6', 225-pound junior, and eventually Verbosch was one of those to run Eric Miller down, along with 92, Ben Bilmerding. So good job by the Westchester Golden Rams. Miller got right back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 4th and 16 for the Huskies from their own 45. Joe Costello on the punt, and flags will fly and whistles will blow before it happens.
Yeah, but offensive lineman moving for the Huskies.
So march 5 more on the illegal procedure off against Bloomsburg, and it'll bring up a 4th and 21. That doesn't matter. It just moves the punting back a little bit further. So the spot now will be the Bloomsburg 40. Bill Lowe deep for the Golden Rams of Westchester. He's standing at about the Westchester 20-yard line. Almost no wind. If there is a little bit of a breeze, it's with Costello and the Huskies and in the face of Bill Lowe. Now we're set in punt formation. The snap's a good one to Costello. He gets the kick away. Lowe will circle under it at about his 24-yard line. Now cut back one direction, now back this way. Good pursuit by the Bloomsburg special teams. That's Ron Lelko on the special teams, and Lelko ran down Bill Lowe. So the punt by Costello, a good one, particularly because there was no return by Westchester's Bill Lowe.
How about a half-yard loss on the return, and it's a 35-yard punt.
So they'll put it at the Westchester 24-yard line. That's where the Rams will put it in play. 1st and 10, 12:22 and counting. Second quarter play from Redmond Stadium in Bloomsburg. Mitros under center. Now Truitt, the tight end, in motion. Actually was a split man on that one, and the call goes straight ahead to Conrad Quarles. Quarles with some nice yardage out over the 30-yard line. We'll call it the 32. So give him 8 yards on first down for the Golden Rams fullback. Bring up a 2nd and 2 from the Westchester 32.
Well, he come through there like a runaway horse, didn't he?
He did indeed.
He's at the tailback position right now.
Indeed he is. They've moved him to the tail position. And Truitt again in motion from this wide receiver slot. Quarles again gets the call, and met there by Tony Brown. Not much doing at all. So Conrad Quarles has moved to the tailback position, and in front of him, Kirk Boardlemay. I'll check that. Scott Reed, 48, not 49. I apologize. Number 48, Scott Reed, is at the fullback position. So Quarles gets it out to the 33. Give him 1 yard on that play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Golden Rams from their own 33-yard line. So Quarles dots the I now. Scott Reed ahead of him in the fullback position. Call goes to Quarles, and he'll bull ahead, not get much, but he didn't need it. He'll get it out to the 35-yard line, so Quarles again for 2. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams from their own 35. They trail in this one, Bloomsburg 7 and Westchester nothing, 11-10 and counting, first half of play.
It's 5 first downs for Westchester.
Mitros brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Truitt splits wide to the right. The tight end now will check for Westchester is number 81, Mike Spinka. And that's the man who'll get the catch from Mike Mitros. So Spinka comes into the ball game as the tight end when Truitt splits wide out, and Mitros indeed gets the ball to Spinka. So his first catch of the night or the afternoon. Seems like night here. It's dreary, overcast day. The ball goes out to the 38-yard line, so just 3 yards on the play to the tight end. 2nd and 7 for the Rams. Mitros brings him to the line of scrimmage. Reed and Quarles in the eye behind him. Truitt split wide left, Lowe split wide to the right. The call goes on the sprint draw to Quarles. Some big yardage. Out over the 40, the 45, near midfield. So Conrad Quarles in this change of a backfield. They sat down Thomas Fulton. And that's sitting down a lot of yards, folks. 113.8 a game to be exact. And Conrad Quarles has looked good. He got it all the way out to the 48-yard line. So 10 yards on the play. 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams from their own 48. Mitros brings them to the line of scrimmage quickly. Reed and Quarles in the eye. Lowe split wide to the left. Truitt split wide right. Huskies jump again. Flags fly. Not much for Quarles up the middle. We'll check the call because flags flew from the umpire and the linesman, but flags flew from the referee as well. So we had an offsetting early that some crazy things happened. They're not going to talk about this one as long. We'll get the signal.
Backfield in motion. It's going to offset.
And offsides against Bloomsburg. So, boy, we had that one pegged perfectly. Offsetting penalties again. So nullify the Quarles carry. It was a short one. It went from the 48 actually to maybe midfield. Means nothing. 1st and 10 for the Rams from their 48-yard line on those offsetting penalties.
You keep calling them like that, we're going to call you Alert Jim.
I'll tell you what. Boy, I might start to understand this game. You do enough games.
Yeah.
I'm still tired from last night's high school playoff game. Mike Mitros under the center. The backs are in the eye behind him. Reed and Quarles dots it. Lowe split wide to the left. Truitt wide right. Mitros on the delay to Quarles again. The sprint draw up the middle. Now kicks it free inside the 45. The 40 of Bloomsburg and down near the 35. So Conrad Quarles was a very, very patient running back. He picked his hole, and when he found it, he got it down to the Bloomsburg 36. So a big gainer of 16 yards for Quarles on that one. 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams from the 36-yard line of Bloomsburg.
I tell you what, the big guy has done a job since he's been in there. He's carried for 8 yards, just 1, then 2. Fumble, Jimmy.
Now the carry by Scott Reed, his first one, and he fumbled the football. One official says Bloomsburg, one official says Westchester, so we'll check it. I think it's Westchester's football. Well, as they unpile, we'll check it. Now, Scott Reed's a freshman fullback out of Pottstown and St. Pius X. He's 6'1", 210 pounds. That was his first carry of the game. He got some yardage down to the Bloomsburg 32, so give him 4 for Reed. Be a 2nd and 6 for the Golden Rams from there. He did drop the football, but got back on it. Lowe now split wide to the left. Truitt wide right. Mitros calling the signals. Goes back on the sprint draw. Now a new running back in there. We'll check that number.
Dixon, I think.
Indeed, number 29. Let me check that. Maybe 28 again. Wally Dixon. We'll check that number for you. 28. Indeed, it is Dixon. So Dixon on his first. We didn't see him sneak in there in the backfield. He ran out of the eye. It goes from the 32 to the 29. So give Dixon 3 yards on the carry. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3 from the Bloomsburg 29-yard line. Westchester on the march. They trail in this one 7-0. Bloomsburg has that lead. 8:03 to go, 2nd quarter. Now Dixon again on the carry inside the 29 and down near first down markers. We'll check it. Wally Dixon is a junior, 5'11", 195 pounds out of York and York Votech High School. He gets it inside the 28 near the 27. So give him 2. They needed 3. It'll bring up a 4th and 1 from the Bloomsburg 27. Big call here coming early in the ball game. Westchester will go for it. 7:32 and counting. First half of play. Bloomsburg leads at 7-0.
Interesting. They'll have Quarles in there, Jim.
Mitros under center. Long count now. The call will go to Dixon off the left side, and he'll get the first down yardage. He got to the 25-yard line. So Ben Hennick will hit him and just couldn't stack him up for the Huskies. The strong safety of Bloomsburg coming up and making a nice play, just not quite soon enough. Dixon gets 2 yards, and the Ram drive stays alive. 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 25.
Jim, I got a 10-play drive going here.
Indeed, 11th play of the drive coming here. Mitros under center, now rolls to his right, looking for Bill Lowe out there, guarded closely by Michael Roberts. He goes to one of the up men. That's 81 Spinka. So Mitros completes his pass to Spinka, probably one of those secondary receivers. Mitros making good decision there. because I think he was looking for Bill Lowe, and Lowe was not open. The play will go to the Bloomsburg 23-yard line, so just 2 yards on the tight end pass. 2nd and 8 for the Rams from the Bloomsburg 23. Mitros brings them to the line of scrimmage very, very quickly. The backs are in the eye. The call goes now to Quarles, who's back in there, burst inside the 20 and down near the 17, so Conrad Quarles back in there. We'll check the spot after the pile unravels, and they'll call it the 17-yard line indeed. 6 yards for Quarles. Bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Rams from the 17. 6:09 and counting. Tom Lynn, Jim Hollister, and our spotter Mike Southworth sitting high atop Redmond Stadium in Bloomsburg. Mitros now under the center, goes to Quarles off the right side. Good penetration by the Huskies.
Roberts come in from a corner blitz on the left-hand side that time and knifed through, got him by the ankles, and a few of his friends come along to put him down. That's the first they really stopped Quarles. No gain.
He'll maybe even lose half a yard, so we'll call it no gain there. It'll bring up a 4th and 2 from the Bloomsburg 17. So this will be the 3rd 4th down for the Rams of Westchester, and they've converted on one and not converted on another. Here's the 3rd coming. Mitros takes the snap, hands to Quarles off the left side, and I do not think so.
No,
the Bloomsburg defense has held again. So, my, oh my, Tom, the play didn't work the last time. It didn't work this time either.
Well, I tell you, they must absolutely have no confidence in their field goal kicker at all, Jim, coming in, because, and that's unusual, I think, in college football. Again, they were in reasonable distance. That would have been roughly about a 38-yard kick, and they didn't go for it.
Indeed, they did not. Bloomsburg maintains a 7-0 lead. Hey, we'll have Bloomsburg basketball coach Charlie Cronister to talk about his Huskies season coming up. The Huskies open next Friday night in the Shepherd, West Virginia tournament. We'll have Charlie at halftime to talk about this season coming up. The Huskies now with the football give it to Irvin Sigler, and he gets out over the 20, the 25, still on his feet, and out over the 30, and flags fly.
Got a hold.
So, yeah, it may very well come back, because it flew early, and it flew from the umpire. He's talking to the referee, indeed, holding against Bloomsburg. So forget that one. The play started at the Bloomsburg 17-yard line. Sigler made a nice run, got out about the 30, and plenty of yards for the first down, but all for naught, because there's a flag laying on the ground just about the 18, and they'll do a walk-off back inside the Bloomsburg 10, call it the 9. So a 9-yard walk-off against the Huskies. It'll bring up 1st and 19 from the Bloomsburg 9-yard line. So that holding penalty is a big one, and it puts the Huskies back in a hole. 5:02 and counting. Bloomsburg leads this one 7-0. First half of play from Redmond Stadium in Bloomsburg.
Huskies now with 38 yards of penalties.
On the sprint draw to Irvin Sigler, out over the 10 and near the 15-yard line, so Bloomsburg has to hang on to that football. Now, we'll remind you again, it is a cold, wet day in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. 49, Kirk Boardlemay makes the tackle on that last play. Sigler gets it out to the 15, so give Irvin 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd and 13 from the Bloomsburg 15.
Huskies utilizing Bear at that left guard an awful lot, Jim.
He's a good one, an All-American Tim Bear in that left guard spot. Now Miller with the pass. He finds his man in traffic. That's Ron Lelko. Boy, oh boy, Eric Miller with a pinpoint pass right between 2 defenders. That was Tonin was one of those people out there, along with 42, Matt Koza, and Eric Miller split them perfectly and hit the 2 and the 8 on Ron Lelko's chest. Eric Miller to Ron Lelko, and the chains will move again. Outside the 35, we'll call it the 36, 21 yards on the play. 1st and 10 Bloomsburg at their own 36-yard line.
Lelko now with 4 catches for 64 yards.
He needs 9 to make it 10 for the all-time school record for receptions. He's getting there much more rapidly than we thought. Miller now lets it fly. Lelko's the one that comes back to the football, and he makes the catch in Westchester territory. So the pass came up a little short. Lamont Johnson, the corner, got turned around. So again, it's that same combination. Eric Miller to Ron Lelko, and it goes deep into Westchester territory. We'll call it the 28-yard line.
I got 35 yards on that. He's now got 99 yards on 6. Let's make it 5 catches.
1st and 10 for the Huskies at the Westchester 28-yard line for Ron Lelko, actually inside the 28, 35 yards. It follows a 21-yarder by Eric Miller to Ron Loco. The Huskies are on the march. They lead this one 7-0, looking for more. Miller calling signals with Loco, split wide right and left. The call goes to Irv Sigler inside the 20, the 15, still on his feet down near the 10-yard line. So now the Huskies go back to the ground to their big man, swerving, Irvin Sigler, and he did just that and swerved there. Marcellus Simmons finally drug him down, but not before he got to the 11. So give Irvin 17 yards in the carry. 1st and 10 from the Westchester 11. The Huskies are knocking.
Oh, what a drive this is. Took over to 18. I have him 5th play in the drive.
Started at the 18, moved back to the 9, and now is moving forward in big chunks of yardage. The delay again to Sigler, looking for his hole. Not much there. That talented linebacker, Ben Tonin, shows up in a hurry. Hey, he's a 5'10", 240-pound senior out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey. 83 tackles coming in the ballgame. He got another one there.
Got an injury on the face. I tell you what, you ask the Huskies, and I'll bet they're not talking about him being 5'10". Going down for a pass. And he's, starts to look back at the point of attack. And when he looks back, if he's well covered, you're finding a lot of quarterbacks anymore and a lot of coaches teaching to underthrow that pass. And if you underthrow it, your offensive man who will be looking at the ball can put on the brakes quicker, obviously, in that situation, because the defensive man is not going to put on the brakes as quickly and come back for the pass. And that's what happened here with the Huskies. They picked up a big 35 yards. Loco, right now, I have him 99 yards on 5 catches, but that was a great play, and I really believe that Miller deliberately underthrew that thing.
That Westchester defender was Lamont Johnson. He's now off the field. The Huskies come to the line of scrimmage facing a 2nd and 9 from the Westchester 10. Miller rolls to his right, throws to the end zone for Ron Loco, and doesn't come down with it. Boy, there's a rare one. Ron Loco got himself turned around, but he's done it before and made wonderful catches. That time he couldn't come up with it, 3rd down.
I got bumped a little bit at the time that the ball hit his hands, but he's kind of looking at his hands like, I can't believe you left me down.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's gotten bumped before and come up with a catch. He's one of those receivers that's got an attitude. He expects he ought to catch every pass that's thrown at him. He didn't come down with that one. 3rd and 9 now for the Huskies from the Westchester 10. Miller under center. He'll roll to his right again, looking for Loco in the end zone. Lets it fly hard and heavy, and it's
incomplete.
Dropped and incomplete at the 1-yard line. So good job by the Westchester defenders. Number 55, Tonin, was there. Number 49, Bourdlemay, was there. They knocked the pass down, and it'll go incomplete. And we'll check, I believe we'll see a field goal attempt from Tom Boop. It'll be 4th and 9 for the Huskies from the Westchester 10. The spot will be outside the 15. We'll call it the 17-yard line. 27-yard field goal from Tom Boop from the left hash mark. Ron Loco's the holder. The snap's a good one. The kick is up, and the kick is away, and good. Tom Boop, 27 yards, and the Huskies add to their lead. Bloomsburg 10, Westchester nothing. 2:38 to go in the first half of play. We'll be back after this 30-second break. The winless teams would be tied at 7-7. Yeah. 2:38 to go, first half of play. We're not tied here. It's Bloomsburg 10 and Westchester nothing. The Huskies with an 8-play, 82-yard drive, and that's not accounting for that 9-yard backup on holding on the very first play. It actually started at the 9. Tom Boop now to kick off. It's a low wobbler taken by one of the up men at the 20, out over the 25 and the 30, and knocked out of bounds on this near sideline by the Huskies of Bloomsburg. That return by Westchester's number 26, Logan Umberger. One of the up backs, he got the football there and returned it out, and Westchester will put it in play, and the Golden Rams need some points. They're down 10-0 in this one, 2:30 to go, first half of play. That defensive unit of Bloomsburg's been a good one.
I'll tell you what, Westchester's had a 10-yard drive and a 14-play drive. We have a flag down, and I have no idea why that is already.
Well, Bloomsburg started jumping around and pointing at the offensive center right away, so it's illegal procedure. Something happened. They might have given a little leeway to the centers today, Tom, because of the wet football, but maybe he took a little bit too much leeway.
Well, one of the things I've noticed that this offensive center from Westchester does do, he moves his up hand quite frequently.
Snap now goes to Mitros. He rolls to his left. Nobody open there. Good coverage by the secondary of Bloomsburg. That's Michael Roberts again. He was looking for Bailey, and when you're going to throw at cornerback Michael Roberts, you better be sure you're going to get it there, because Roberts was all over Bailey, and Mitros had to tuck it under and run with the football. The play started at the 29. It got to the 34, so he got the 5 yards back on the holding to bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Westchester 34. The backs are in the eye now. Mitros back to pass, looking out for Bill Lowe, and throws it high and outside. The pass will go incomplete.
Great job that time for the Huskies, 96. So it's
That's
a good
Gary Fittery right up the middle, one of those talented defensive tackles.
He come in and got great pressure and really did not leave the quarterback set up to throw the ball, and he just caused all kind of havoc.
Michael Roberts coming on that corner blitz, too. It's happened twice today, and the quarterbacks hurried it in a whole big way every time Roberts comes flying in there. Mitros now, as Roberts fakes the cornerback blitz. Now the Huskies jump. That's Justin Benn on this side. Flags fly. Mitros lets it fly to Bill Lowe, and Lowe makes a wonderful catch out there midfield, sliding to a stop.
That's a great timing route as they ran a square out at about 6.5, 7 yards. The ball is not delivered. He turns right upfield, and of course, Mitros had a lot of people after him. The Huskies putting pressure on, and they completed up there for a pickup of
17 yards. Inside Bloomsburg territory at the Bloomsburg 49. That penalty was offsides Bloomsburg. Lowe with a nice sliding catch on a good throw by Mitros, and the Golden Rams get into Bloomsburg territory. 2:14 now. The clock becomes a little bit of a factor. Bloomsburg leads this one 10-0. Cold, dreary day. Still haven't seen any rain here this afternoon. Mitros under center. The backs are in the eye. That's Reed and Quarles. We haven't seen Thomas Fulton in a while. The call goes to Quarles. He does not get a whole lot out of that one. Wonderful job by Gary Fittery.
Now, that was Fulton there, Jim.
Indeed, Thomas Fulton back in the ball game, so I apologize for that. We watched Conrad Quarles come and go, and Scott Reed was the fullback that time, but it was Fulton, and he got it out to about the 48-yard line, or backwards to the 48-yard line of Westchester, a loss of 3, so it'll be 2nd and 13 from the Westchester 48. Mitros rolls back, now jumps it off to Fulton at the 50, inside the 45, down to the 40-yard line. So Mike Mitros to his tailback Thomas Fulton, and Fulton picks up some real nice yardage inside the Bloomsburg 40.
That's what you call a dirty pool receiver that time. He was a safety valve and a planned play all the way, where they brought him on a kind of an isolation to the left. Can come off the left tackle. He got to the line of scrimmage and got kind of buried, and immediately went right down the line of scrimmage, and it wasn't anybody open when you get back to the backside, and it's going to be very, very close for the first down.
They needed 13 yards. They got 12 yards and about 35 inches.
Now, how do I chart that?
Well, I think you give them 12. Okay. So you give them 12 yards on the pass play. 3rd and 1 for the Golden Rams from the Bloomsburg 40. And flags fly from the umpire, right over the whistle from the umpire, I should say. Bloomsburg stacked it up, and the umpire stopped the play before it ever got started. Bloomsburg wants a timeout. We'll take one, too. 1:13 to go, first half of play. Bloomsburg 10, Westchester nothing. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Millersville East Stroudsburg game throughout the afternoon. Thanks very much, Dave Delbo. Right here, Bloomsburg has a 10-0 lead with 1:13 to go in the first half of play. The Rams of Westchester tried to get off a quick play and a quick diver there, and Rick Daniels all over the referee Bob Newberry saying, hey, they shouldn't have gotten that timeout. But indeed, it was awarded to the Bloomsburg Huskies. And Bloomsburg now has that defensive unit in there facing a 3rd and 1 for Westchester from about the Bloomsburg 40. Actually, the nose of the football, or the whole football almost, is inside the 40-yard line, and Westchester needed 13 yards on that last play. And I'm telling you, they got all but an inch or two of it.
Excellent, excellent place to gamble right here.
Mitros now under center. We'll see if he indeed gambles. Truitt wide to the right. No. Mitros will go straight ahead and get the first down. So no gambling on the part of Rick Daniels here. Maybe he doesn't want to gamble because of the type of day. Bloomsburg jumping around, acting excited about it, but it's because Westchester's going to a no-huddle offense. Call at the 38-yard line. 2 for Mitros. 1st and 10 for the Rams from the Bloomsburg 38. Mitros now rolls to his left, looking for Lowe for all of it. He gets behind John Zalos. Bill Lowe and makes the catch inside the Bloomsburg 5. So Bill Lowe got the defensive back, John Zalos of Bloomsburg, turned around, and Mike Mitros put it on the numbers. Mitros to Lowe, and it's inside the Bloomsburg 5. We'll call it the 4:30, 4 yards on the pass play.
And again, Mitros is 5 for 6 here, and we have a timeout called by Bloomsburg, their second.
Again, timeout Bloomsburg. 56 seconds to go, first half of play. Huskies lead this one 10-0. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Much, Dave Delbo. Westchester going to that no-huddle offense, and it screwed up Bloomsburg in a big way. The Golden Rams picking up some big chunks of yardage. 12 yards from Mitros to Thomas Fulton. A 2-yard run by Mitros for first down and when he needed inches. And now 34 yards to Bill Lowe. It's first and goal for the Rams at the Bloomsburg 4. Mitros rolls to his right, looking for Lowe in the end zone. Chris Acuff in pursuit. He gets his ankles, and no, Mitros gets in the end zone. So Chris Acuff couldn't quite run him down, and Mike Mitros gets into the Bloomsburg end zone, and Westchester's on the board. 4 yards for Mitros. What an effort he did to stretch out that football and get it in the end zone. The official standing right there, and he says touchdown. So Westchester's on the board with 48 seconds to go in the first half of play.
With 8 plays, Jim. 88's the kicker, O'Brien.
Number 88, Tom Truitt, is the kicker. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 48 seconds to go, first half of play. Bloomsburg 10, Westchester 7. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Delbo, indeed. Jim Hollister, Tom Lynn, our spotter Mike Southworth from Redmond Stadium on the campus of Bloomsburg University, where Westchester has gotten on the board. They trail in this one 10-7 to the Huskies of Bloomsburg. Mike Bean now to kick off for Westchester. He lets it fly. It'll come up a little bit short. Steve Eichert will circle under it at about his 17, straight up the middle, out over the 25, the 30, and now the 35. So Steve Eichert takes the short kick and gives the Huskies of Bloomsburg decent field position at about the Bloomsburg 37-yard line. The Huskies have 42 seconds to go in this first half. We'll see what the decision is by Coach Danny Hale and his staff. Remind you, at halftime, we'll have Bloomsburg University head basketball coach Charlie Chronister. He's got a real young team coming back this season. We'll talk to Charlie about some of those new names and what he expects to see. Huskies doing some jumping around now. Randy Davidson and Ron Loco split to the right. Mike Loco to the left. Eric Miller rolls to the right and in all kinds of trouble now, and he'll be buried. Nice job by the Westchester defense. Number 80, Courtney Williams. 6 foot, 245-pound senior out of Bethlehem Catholic, along with 93 Kevin Burbosh. And they got there in a hurry, and Miller is down at his own 30-yard line. He'll lose 7.
Jim, they got great penetration that time, and got in there and put the crunch on him, and he did have an open receiver in a hook area at about 14 yards. And the Huskies going to stay right there in the huddle and leave this thing run right out.
And indeed it will. That'll be the end of the first half of play. With the score, Bloomsburg University 10, Westchester University 7. We'll be back with the first half wrap when we return to Redmond Stadium after this 60-second break. WJMW Sports, we welcome our guest today on WCHE 1520 AM with this simulcast. Tom Boop starts it off for Bloomsburg with a high, deep kick. He drives Bill Lowe into the Westchester deep end zone, and Lowe will not come out. So a good kickoff by Tom Boop drives the Westchester receiver into the end zone, and the Rams of Westchester will have it first. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So we'll watch and see what happens throughout this half. Bloomsburg had the momentum for a long time in this ball game, and now Westchester come out of this locker room. They got a late score. The Rams trail in this one 10-7. Mitros under center. The running backs behind him are Quarles and Fulton. That's the way they started. Fulton now off the left side with some good blocking. Gets it out over the 20, near the 25-yard line. So Thomas Fulton and Conrad Quarles, the starting backfield, they're back in there at the positions they originally started at. Quarles moved to the tailback spot, and the Rams were very successful with him back there. Now he's at the fullback spot. 2nd and 5 for the Rams now from their 25-yard line. Mitros under center. Bill Lowe split wide right, Greg Bailey wide left. The backs are in the eye. The call goes in the draw to Thomas Fulton, and not a lot doing. Good job by the Husky defender to hold their ground there about that 25-yard line. That defensive front for Bloomsburg again, we'll introduce to you Tony Brown, Gary Fittery, Luff, that's Chris Luff, and Justin Bent up front for the Huskies. That time Tony Brown and Fittery get some credit on that tackle. Good job by the Huskies defenders. The ball's at the 25, no gain. 3rd and 5 for the Golden Rams from right there. Mike Drost under center, the backs are in the eye. He'll roll to his right, looking for Lowe over there against John Zalos, the Husky defender. Now throws underneath, and a good job by Chris Acuff to get his hands on the football, and it goes incomplete.
Excellent job of the linebacker that time, sliding out, and he slid proportionally with what the quarterback was rolling out and kept a good judgment on it and was able to get in and knock that ball down. Excellent play.
Chris Acuff, a 5'10", 218-pound senior out of Bellefonte, and he forces the Golden Rams of Westchester to punt it away. Mike Bean standing at about his 12-yard line. Steve Eichert deep for the Huskies. The punt's away, end over end. It'll hit the ground at about the 46, take a Westchester roll, and now settle in at about the 42-yard line. So the punt by Mike Bean. Bloomsburg will have it for the first time in the second half of play. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Huskies at about their own 37.
39 yards on the punt. Just the second punt of the day for Westchester. Westchester has controlled the ball very well. They've got a 10-play drive, a 14-play drive, and an 8-play drive to score.
1st and 10 for the Huskies from their own 37-yard line. Eric Miller under center. Johnson and Sigler are the backs. Lelko and Lelko split left and right respectively. Serves Sigler now off the right side. Nice hole out over the 40-yard line for the Huskies running back. He had 70 yards at halftime. This is a running back that averages 214.1 yards a game. So Westchester did the job there. The weather conditions not real conducive to a great running day. Gets out to the 42-yard line. Give Irvin 5 yards on the carry. 2nd and 5 from the Bloomsburg 42. Miller under center. The backs in the eye. The Lelko split. That's Ron to the left and Mike to the right. Long count from Miller. Westchester shows blitz, now gives it to Sigler, and he's not going to get anywhere. Boy, wonderful penetration on that right side by the Golden Rams of Westchester. That's 55, Ben Tonin, and he's a good one, the middle linebacker, and he knocks Irvin Sigler back to the 35-yard line, so a loss of 7 for Irvin Sigler on the play. Bring up a 3rd and 12 from the Bloomsburg 35-yard line. So Tonin met Sigler. Ben Tonin wins that one.
I'll tell you what, Ben Tonin's going to win a lot of them. He is very, very talented, reads exceptionally well, and enters always from the inside to the outside. Excellent player.
Miller now rolls to his right, has some blocking, hits his tight end. That tight end is number 83 for Bloomsburg, Brian Sullivan. Now, he's not the standard or the starting tight end, we'll remind you, but Kerry O'Brien got leveled in the first half. We have not seen O'Brien return, so the pass from Miller to Sullivan goes to the 41, give him 6 yards on that pass to Brian Sullivan. It'll bring up a 4th and 6 for the Huskies. They'll punt it away. Joe Costello standing about his 27. He gets the punt away. Bill Lowe might return this one. It's a good punt to do it on from the 25 out over the 30, but good special teams coverage by the Huskies. So the punt by Joe Costello to Bill Lowe. Lowe returns at about 6 yards, and Westchester will put it in play 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. So the Rams have the ball for the second time. They trail in this one 10-7, 11:42 to go. Third quarter of play.
33 yards on the punt. Good coverage by the Huskies that time.
Mitros under center, goes on the delay to Thomas Fulton off the left side. Quarles out in front blocking. Fulton slips as he gets out over the 30 near the 34-yard line. That's what we'll call it. So give Fulton 4 yards on the carry. Brings up a 2nd and 6 from the Westchester 34.
Excellent block by Bailey, the wide receiver that time. He went back down and took the defensive end for Bloomsburg and just sealed him right off. Excellent play.
Mitros with the backs in the eye. Lowe split wide to the right. Bailey split wide left. Mitros now rolls to his right, looking for Bill Lowe. Still looking. Now lets it fly underneath to the tight end. And the catch is made there by Tom Truitt at about the 45-yard line. So Mike Mitros was patient. He strung it out. The Husky defense did a good job, but finally the tight end underneath and they'll move the sticks again. Call it the 45-yard line, 11 yards on the pass play, 1st and 10, Golden Rams. Quickly to the line of scrimmage now. Mitros under center, the back's in the eye. Bailey split wide to the right, Lowe split to the left, offset a little bit. Now Fulton off the left side looking for running room, finds some out near midfield. So Thomas Fulton now taking a page out of the book of Conrad Quarles and being a patient back. Didn't look like there was anything there. Fulton waited long enough and found some running room.
Going to get 4 yards on it, Jim. He did an excellent job.
We'll call it actually midfield stripe. Give him 5, Tom. Be a little more generous than that for the Westchester running back. 2nd and 5 from midfield now. So Westchester on a mini march right now. The Golden Rams at midfield. Lowe now in motion from the near side to the far, over with Bailey. The call goes to Fulton off the left side, cuts it back over the center position, and goes into Bloomsburg territory. So Westchester now showing some patience. They don't need it all back. They only trail by 3 in this ball game. 9:58 and counting, 3rd quarter play. Give Fulton down to the Bloomsburg 46, 4 more yards. Should bring up a 3rd and 1 from the Bloomsburg 46-yard line. Make it a long one. Mitros under center. Now Scott Reed out in front as the fullback. He hits the tight end Truitt, and 1st down again for the Golden Rams. So that Mitros to his tight end Tom Truitt connection has worked today. They needed 1. They got plenty more than that. 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams. The spot will be at about the Bloomsburg 41. So 5 yards they got on that play. 1st and 10.
3rd first down this second half. They have a total of 14 now.
Tom, they're throwing underneath to that tight end with much more regularity.
Yep.
Mike Mitros now under center. The backs are in the eye. Low split wide left. Bailey wide right. Truitt, the tight end, is to the right. Now Mitros on the naked bootleg out here. Now dumping off the tight end. Inside the 35, the 30-yard line, and down near the Husky 25. So it looked like Mitros was going to go on the naked bootleg out here. His tight end turned and came back at it. He dumped it off to him, and some good yardage again for Westchester. Inside the 30, we'll call it the Bloomsburg 28-yard line.
14 yards on the catch.
Indeed, 14 yards. 1st and 10, Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 28. So Westchester got the momentum at the end of the first half. It looks like they've held on to it. Now in the eye, 1st and 10 from the Bloomsburg 28. The call goes to Thomas Fulton with Reed out in front blocking, and boy, good job by the Husky defenders. Jay Brook and, among others, John Impt in there, the linebacker. Chris Acuff showed up. So good pursuit by that Husky defense as a pile unravels. Gary Fittery along with those tacklers on that play. So Thomas Fulton, play started at the 28. It's at the 28. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Golden Rams from the 28. Mitros now under center. Low split left. The call, no. Mitros fakes the handoff to Fulton. Dumps it off to 48, Scott Reed. Reed inside the 20, the 15, and down near the Huskies 10. So now they go to the fullback on the play. So this short passing game of Westchester is working very, very well right now. Mike Mitros to Scott Reed, the play the 28 down to the 11, 17 yards on that pass play. 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams just outside the Bloomsburg 10-yard line. So they can get a 1st down before they get in the end zone. Mitros under center. Now rolls to his left with some blockers out in front. Looking over here for Bill Lowe, and has to throw it high and outside because John Zalos was right there on the coverage. Good job by the Huskies defensive cornerback. And Lowe couldn't come down with the catch. It goes incomplete, 2nd down.
Good pressure that time put on by number 52 for the Huskies.
That's Jay Brook, one of those linebackers.
Did a great job of getting in there and caused that pass to go high. But Westchester is 4 for 6 here in this 3rd period.
10th play of the drive coming now. Reed right up the gut from his fullback position on that 10th play inside the Huskies 10. Play started at the 11. We'll give him the 9. No, call at the 8. 3 yards for Scott Reed. Will bring up a 3rd and 7 from the Bloomsburg 8-yard line. Westchester can get a 1st down on this play. The Rams looking to get in the end zone.
Very, very impressive ball control today by Westchester.
11th play of the drive coming. It's been an impressive drive in this 3rd quarter. Westchester looking to go on top. Mitros now with the pass to Greg Bailey in the end zone. Touchdown, Westchester Golden Rams.
What a catch.
So Greg Bailey with his first catch of the day, and it's a big one. He beat John Zalos on that corner. Mitros laid it in there, and Westchester jumps on top. Mike Mitros, 8 yards to Greg Bailey, and Westchester's on top.
covered very, very well that time, and the ball thrown to the inside, and Bailey just took a little jab step around and got his hands on the ball, and good.
Tom Truitt on to attempt the extra point. Westchester with that 3-point lead right now before the snap. The snap's a good one. The hold is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 7:23 to go. Third quarter of play. Westchester 14. Bloomsburg 10. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Right here, Westchester has taken the lead. The Rams got that momentum in the late in the second quarter. They've held on to it. Now to one of the upbacks for Bloomsburg on this short kickoff by the Golden Rams. Number 21, Jeremiah Schumann, a freshman, one of those freshman running backs for Bloomsburg, takes it on the short kickoff. He gets it out over the 30. We'll call it the 31-yard line. That's where Bloomsburg will put it in play. They trail for the first time today. The Huskies build an early 10-0 lead. Now Westchester coming back with a late second quarter score and now an early third quarter score, and the Golden Rams have taken the lead 14-10. Eric Miller under center. He goes back and rolls to his left looking to pass and dumps it out there to Ron Loco, and it's on the short hop. Needed to be a good shortstop to come up with that one. Ron Loco could not, and the pass will go incomplete, second down.
Loco did about a 10-yard square out that time, and Miller sprinted to his left, and he's a right-handed quarterback, and he just couldn't get turned around and get enough push on the ball to get it to him. Loco was open on the sideline.
Second and 10 now for the Huskies of Bloomsburg from their own 31-yard line. The backs are in the eye. Loco split wide left. That's Ron, and wide right. That's Mike. Long count from Miller. Tone in the middle linebacker showing blitz. He hits Sigler in the backfield. Flags fly. So Irvin Sigler goes nowhere on that play, but maybe, just maybe, a Westchester Golden Ram was in there a little bit early. Ben Tonen was showing blitz, and that's indeed what the call will be. So offsides Westchester, scratch out that Sigler run, give the Huskies 5 yards on the offsides penalty. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5 now from the Bloomsburg 36-yard line. So a little bit over anxiousness on the part of that aggressive Westchester defensive unit, and they'll mark off 5 yards.
Westchester's defense has really picked up, Jim. I'm very impressed with them. They played well through all the first part of the ball game, but at the end of the second half, they played a lot better and did a lot of things very good here so far in the second half.
Now, 2nd and 5. Miller goes back on the sprint draw to Irv Sigler. He gets some yardage, and another flag flies. Irv Sigler still on his feet over midfield and into Westchester territory, but don't get too excited because it's coming back.
You're at 10 yards right from that flag, Jim. It's a holding penalty.
That flag that Tom's referring to is lying on the ground at about the Bloomsburg 38-yard line, so Irvin Sigler may get 2 yards on this carry if that's where they mark it from, and that's where the umpire's standing, and he's the man that does the job. So to go from the 39, actually, give Irvin 3. Sigler gets 3 yards, and then the holding will be 10 from there. So it would have brought up a 3rd and real short. Instead, it'll go back and bring up 2nd and a lot more than that. The Huskies need the sticks to go to the 41. The ball's resting about the 28, so make it 2nd and 13 now from the Bloomsburg 28-yard line.
Any way you put it, Jim, I have Sigler with 71 yards right now. Westchester's done a great job.
Yes, they have. The elements have not been good, but the Westchester defense has been, and that's a bad combination for Irvin Sigler. Miller's pass now hits Mike Lelko out over the 40-yard line. Hey, they needed 13. They got it back in a real hurry. Eric Miller to Mike Lelko on the play, and the tackle made by Mark Fields, the free safety for Westchester, but not before. Bloomsburg moves the sticks. It goes from the 28 all the way out to the 43-yard line. So 15 yards is what they got. 1st and 10 for Bloomsburg from their own 43. Eric Miller to Mike Lelko. Ron Lelko now in the slot to the right. Mike Lelko split wide left, and one of those Husky linemen stands up on the other side. Missed the snap count, and that'll be 5 yards against Bloomsburg. So Phil Zeke got a little bit anxious there, and old Phil stood up, and you can't do that, folks. So it'll be a legal procedure against the Huskies of Bloomsburg. That'll be 5-yard walk-off. I'll bring up a 1st and 15 now from the Bloomsburg 38.
And we have a replacement right there, too, at that tackle position, and the coaching staff having a little fundamental talk.
That replacement is number 73, Sean Fluzo. So Fluzo, now Irvin Sigler finds a hole up the 40, the 50, inside Westchester territory, the 30, the 35, the 30. Nice job by Irvin Sigler. Boy, oh boy, you can stop him most of the day, but boy, don't let your guard down for a second, because as soon as you do, he's going to burn you. He did right there. Irvin Sigler. The play started at the Bloomsburg 38 after that illegal procedure penalty, and now Irvin Sigler takes off and goes all the way inside the 30 to the Westchester 28-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for Bloomsburg from the Westchester 28. 34 yards on the carry for Swerve and Irvin. He gets the call again off the left side. This time, good pursuit by the Westchester defensive unit. Rob Colentrail, one of those defensive tackles up front, ran him down from behind, so Irvin couldn't get very much yardage on that one, but he's got Bloomsburg in Westchester territory. No gain on the play. Brings up a 2nd and 10 from the Westchester 28. Boy, Tom, you know, we talked about it all throughout the season, or Jim and Andy have, and us on occasion when we get the chance. You kept Irvin Sigler down and down and down, and eventually he comes back and gets you.
Yeah, he certainly does. And I mean, he picked the hole that time very nice. And, you know, the Huskies just keep giving him the ball, and sooner or later, you know, he's just going to go.
One back set now. That one back is Brett Kozlowski. Double receivers to the right. It's Ron Lelko. Now to Randy Davidson. He'll look to pass it, and a wide receiver screen to a wide open Mike Lelko. Touchdown, Bloomsburg. Randy Davidson to Mike Lelko, and the Huskies with a little trickery and get back on top. Oh, boy. Randy Davidson was one of those double wide receivers with Ron Lelko out to this right side. He took 3 steps backwards, cocked his arm, and let it fire, and it leads to 6 for Bloomsburg. 28 yards on the pass play. Davidson, not a quarterback, but Davidson, who was a quarterback, to Mike Lelko, and Bloomsburg has the lead. Tom Boop on to attempt the extra point. Ron Lelko, the holder here. The snap's a good one. The hold is down. The kick's a line drive, and it's good. 4:44 to go. 3rd quarter of play. Bloomsburg 17. Westchester 14. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Danny Hale going to page 103 in the book of tricks on that one. The wide receiver pass. Randy Davidson, a former quarterback, at least when he came to Bloomsburg and was in the quarterback depth chart for a while. He gets the pass and throws a perfect touchdown pass to a wide open Mike Lelko, and the touchdown in the end zone for the touchdown, 28 yards, and Bloomsburg has the 3-point lead. Huskies 17, Westchester 14. Tom Boop to kick off following the score. It's a high, deep kick angling toward the right sideline. Goes out of bounds. We'll check the angle. The official says it did not get to the end zone before it went out, and that'll be a penalty on the Huskies. Westchester will get it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line, so good field position for the Golden Rams.
Yeah, it's a tough penalty.
You pay dearly when that kickoff goes out of bounds, folks. If it goes out before the 35, you get it at the spot. If it goes out after it flies over top of that 35, it comes all the way out there. Good field position for Westchester. They trail 17-14 after the Rams took their only lead of the day just a few minutes ago. Mike Mitros now under center. He's back to pass. No, goes in the draw to Conrad Quarles, who's moved back to the tailback position. So that sprint draw again with another tailback in there. It was Fulton to start. Quarles then had a good second quarter. Fulton started this 3rd quarter. Now it's Quarles again. He takes the ball from the Bloomsburg 35 out to the 40, or the Westchester 40, 35 to the 43, 8 yards. 2nd and 2 from the 43-yard line. In the eye again, the call goes to the up back. That's 48, Scott Reed, the fullback, and Reed runs into a whole host of Husky tacklers there, led by John Impt, one of those linebackers, and some of those down linemen, Gary Fittery. They're off the bottom of the pile. The spot is just outside the 48, or the 43, let me correct myself. No yards on the play. 3rd and 2 for the Rams.
When the time Quarles went to the tailback position, Jim, a different spark was ignited in that Westchester team.
They may need that spark again. The Rams trail once again in this ballgame. They were behind most of the ballgame. They finally went ahead in this 3rd quarter. Now they trail again. Mitros busted play, and he is buried in the backfield by John Imp. So Mike Mitros looking for something to do, and John Imp told him there was nothing to do.
I think Imp just got in position where it looked that way, Jim. He had 3 receivers out, and 2 of them were in hook zones. to the outside of the left side, and they just didn't have a chance to look up for any of them.
5-yard loss for Mitros. They'll punt it away. Bean is on the punt. He gets it off barely. Boy, Tom Rutecki was in there in a hurry, and he got that punt off. He'll take a Westchester roll, and it'll die at the Bloomsburg 28. So that's where the Huskies will put it and play 1st and 10 at their own 28. But, boy, Westchester dodged a bullet there because Tom Rutecki was real close to getting his hand on that football.
I tell you what, this is a well-played football game, Jim. Both of these teams come in here very well prepared, and they have done an excellent job.
17-14, Bloomsburg over Westchester. 2:56 to go. Third quarter play from a cold, damp Robert B. Redmond Stadium. Eric Miller now under center. 2 people moving now. Ron Loco and Kerry O'Brien make it unbalanced left, and Irv Sigler will run behind that blocking on the left side. He'll pick up some yardage out over the 30-yard line. Not a lot there. Westchester did a good job. Kerry O'Brien now back in there at the tight end spot. He went from this right side along with Ron Loco to the left, and it was unbalanced and leaning heavily to the left, and that's the way Irv Sigler went. Out to the 31-yard line, give Urban 3 yards, 2nd and 7 from the Bloomsburg 31.
I have Ziegler now with 105 yards.
Irvin Ziegler now in motion, and he comes out here to the slot and then goes forward, and now Ron Loco at the Bloomsburg 42. He's still running over the 45, the 50. Now it's a foot race, and he finally gets run down, but not before he's in Westchester territory. He fumbles the football, and the official says no. It went out of bounds before Westchester could control it. So the Huskies dodged one there. 42, Matt Koza ran him down, and 47, Jeff Liggs ran Loco down eventually. But I'll tell you what, that was a pass play there from Eric Miller to Ron Loco, and it looked like he could run for a while. Good job of the Rams to run him down at their own 45-yard line. So Bloomsburg in business at the Westchester 45.
Loco now with 123 yards.
Straight ahead now to John Johnson, a fullback, and he picks up nice yardage. So that fullback doesn't get a lot of carries. He tries to make the most of them when he can. Down to the 36-yard line, so 9 yards for Johnson, and the Huskies on the move. .136 and counting. 17-14 Bloomsburg lead. Third quarter play, Redmond Stadium in Bloomsburg.
Good gambling down right here.
2nd and 1 from the Westchester 36-yard line is where they'll gamble from if they indeed do it. Ron Loco split wide right, Mike Loco split wide left, Johnson and Sigler the running back. Sigler will get the call off the left side, inside the 35, inside the 30-yard line. So Irvin Sigler now starting to get loosened up in this second half of play. He's over the 100-yard mark. His goal is over the 200-yard mark because he leads this country in rushing at 214 yards a game. Inside the 30, we'll call it the 28-yard line, so Irvin Sigler gets 8 more yards. 1st and 10 for the Huskies from the Westchester 28-yard line. So Bloomsburg scored on their last possession, a 6-play, 69-yard drive. Now they're on a march again. 5th play of the drive coming. Eric Miller rolls to his right, blocking out in front, dumps it out here to Ron Loco. He'll complete that pass at about the Westchester 20. So Eric Miller to Ron Loco. 28 to the 20-yard line, 8 yards on the pass play. 2nd and 2 for the Huskies. Tom, they're mixing the pass and the rush very, very well right now.
Very well. Excellent call. Their first down call. You know, they've run the very good, the highest percentage plays. If you're going to pass on first down, you don't need to throw it long. To pass it on it out.
Irv Sigler now off the right side, inside the 20 and inside the 15-yard line with some good blocking out in front.
Oh my, what a block by Johnson.
Well, you're going to say that a whole lot during the course of a ball game in a season. John Johnson is a wonderful, wonderful fullback for the Huskies, does a lot of blocking. He's a 5'7", 231-pound senior out of Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. Sigler got it to the 14-yard line, so he got 6 more. And 1st and 10 for the Huskies from there. Eric Miller now to the end zone for Ron Loco with 2 men on him, and the pass is overthrown. So the Huskies went for all of it from that 14-yard line of Westchester, and Eric Miller just couldn't quite find Ron Loco in the corner. Well, 28 seconds to go, third quarter play.
I think when they look at that film again, they'll find that underneath all of that, Mike Loco was open. Of course, you go sometimes with your high percentage guys, and he had a shot at catching that.
Well, and you do have a freshman quarterback. Sometimes
Right.
he might not find some of those secondary receivers. He didn't there because Mike Lelko was indeed open. He split wide to the right. His brother Ron split wide left. The backs are in the eye. Johnson, Sigler dots it. Now timeout. Mike Lelko didn't like what he saw. Maybe the clock in the end zone was what he saw.
That's
Didn't
what
like
he
it.
pointed at.
Timeout Bloomsburg. 28 seconds to go. Third quarter play. Bloomsburg 17. Westchester 14. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Although Clarion going within a field goal of the national championship game a year ago and going within a couple of games of winless this season. They beat Indiana PA a week ago for their first win. Now looking to get one over Edinburgh. Tom, we talked about that intelligent call. Might not look on the board like a great timeout call by Mike Lelko, but the freshman coming up in a big way because the Huskies couldn't afford to lose 5 on a delay.
Exactly right. And the clock was down to 1 second when he called it, so that's just a brilliant call.
2nd and 10 now for the Huskies from the Westchester 14 following that timeout. Bloomsburg has the 3-point lead, looking to add more. Miller takes the snap, rolls to his right, plenty of blocking outside in the end zone for Mike Lelko. Touchdown, Bloomsburg!
Why not?
Eric Miller to Mike Lelko, and Bloomsburg adds to the lead with 22 seconds to go in the quarter.
14 yards on that play.
Mike Lelko, we talked about being open on the last play. Offensive coordinator Jimmy Monis must have seen the same thing we did. They went to Ron Lelko on first down. He wasn't open. Mike Lelko was. They found the younger brother on play number 2. Ron Lelko will be the holder now. Tom Boop on to attempt the extra point. The snap's a good one. The hold is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 22 seconds to go. Third quarter of play. Bloomsburg 24. Westchester 14. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Right here, good news for the home team. The team in the maroon has the momentum. We've talked about it all day long. It's shifted a couple of times. Well, there's no doubt about where it is right now. The Huskies of Bloomsburg with a beautiful 8-play, 72-yard drive. Eric Miller, a redshirt freshman, to Mike Lelko, a redshirt freshman, and Bloomsburg has the 10-point, 24-14 lead. 22 seconds to go, third quarter play. Tom Boop to kick it off. It's a high, deep kickoff. Bill Lowe will circle under it right about the Westchester 2. He'll bring it out over the 5 and the 10, the 15. Now cuts to the far side. Hit back there. Good pursuit by the Huskies, and won't get quite out to the 20-yard line or very close to it. Be 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams of Westchester. We'll check the spot now. I think right on the 20-yard line, so not a very, very long return for one of the first times today. There have been some real good ones. Good special teams play right there by the Huskies.
This will probably be the last play of the third period, Jim.
Mitros under center. Bailey split wide right. Bill Lowe split wide left. The call will go to Conrad Quarles on the delay, and wonderful penetration by the Huskies. John Imp, one of those linebackers, Gary Fittery, Jay Brook, they all got there in a hurry, and that'll do it for the third quarter play. With the score, Bloomsburg 24, Westchester 14. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Right here, the Huskies of Bloomsburg have gotten the momentum, and now defensively looks like they have it as well. Conrad Quarles loses 4 yards on that last play of the third quarter, and Westchester now faces a 2nd and 6 from their own 16-yard line. 2nd and 14, let me check that. Mitros now rolls, the pass hits Greg Bailey, he drops the football. Ben Hennikel gave him a little bump there. The pass was a little behind him. But the pass incomplete, and Westchester has it 3rd down at their own 16.
He had a ball behind him. He had to make that's a tough catch to make.
Well, all the bigs have shown up now, Tom Lynn. Andy Ulickney has joined us in the booth, so maybe we'll get some real expert analysis in our
Right.
left ear.
Hey, and he comes to see a good football game.
Yeah, no, there you go. It's good if you were wearing Berwick blue and white today. Not real good for Lehigh. Mitros now rolls to his left. Flags fly. Oh, almost picked off by Jay Brook. Mitros almost made a big, big mistake.
Hang on to that, Jim. We got a flag down, I believe. Huskies offside.
May very well be. That's what the Westchester players are saying. We'll check referee Bob Newberry. Indeed, it was. Offsides, Bloomsburg. So the Huskies almost came up with the big play on the hands of Jay Brook with the interception. The pass went incomplete. Westchester will pick up 5 yards. They'll bring up a 3rd and 1 now from the Westchester 21-yard line. So the Rams get the break there. 14:47 to go in the ball game. Bloomsburg 24, Westchester 14.
That's the 8th penalty of the day for the Huskies.
Mitros now under center. The backs are in the eye. Lowe and Bailey both to the right as the wide receivers. Mitros back to pass, looking to his left side. Plenty of time. Now lets it fly deep. He's got Bailey out there at the 40, the 35, and the Bloomsburg 30. So Greg Bailey beats Michael Roberts deep, and Westchester gets the big play. Mike Mitros hits Greg Bailey on the pass play. It started at the Westchester 21. It goes all the way to the Bloomsburg 30-yard line. First and 10 for the Rams at the Bloomsburg 30.
Jim, I got 47 yards in the play.
47 yards on the pass play, and the Rams will come to the line of scrimmage quickly. They trail on this one by 10. Now they're on the march following that big pass play. Mitros under center. Now back on the delay to Quarles on the sprint draw, up the middle and inside the 30-yard line. Again, we'll tell you we've seen those different tailbacks. Quarles was the fullback to start this ball game. He's now at the tail again. He gets it into the 28-yard line. Give him 2.
His footwork is outstanding, Jimmy. He doesn't look like he's running all that fast, but he sure knows how to go in a straight line and pick a hole, and he doesn't take a large step around. He runs through arms. I'm impressed with him at that position.
2nd and 8 for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 28-yard line. Truitt splits wide left. Bill Lowe wide to the right. The backs are in the eye. Quarles dots it. Mitros back to pass, fakes inside to Lowe, now goes deep to Spinka, one of the other tight ends on this right side, covered there by Ben Hennikel, and the pass is overthrown.
They had what they wanted, buddy. The Huskies are talking to one another down there right now. They had a tight end covered by a linebacker at that time, and boy, from an offensive standpoint, that's exactly what you want. And unfortunately for Westchester, they just overthrew that one by a whisker.
Well, Hennikel's a strong safety, and Spinka the tight end. I mean, I don't perceive it as that bad a matchup. No. He was beaten on the play. The pass was overthrown, but I don't perceive the matchup as all that bad for the Huskies. Mitros now on 3rd down, rolling to his right, looking. Now finds Spinka at the 20. The big guy will turn around and bull down toward the 15. So Mike Mitros has shown some wonderful patience throughout the afternoon when he rolls and rolls and rolls, and finally when he runs out of room, he lets it fly to one of those tight ends that come in underneath, and that's exactly what happened there. It goes from the 28 to the Bloomsburg 16, 12 yards on the pass play, 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams. They've used that tight end very, very well all day long, be it Tom Truitt or Mike Spinka, it doesn't matter.
They have 6 catches between them.
Mitros now under center, gives it to Conrad Quarles on a delay, up the middle, and inside the 10-yard line goes Conrad Quarles. So the Rams of Westchester, we talked about that momentum. It's been bouncing around like a ping-pong ball all day long. Looks like Westchester may have it right now with the offensive side of the football. It goes to the 10-yard line, 6 yards for Quarles, 2nd and 4 from the 10. Bloomsburg defense has to dig in now. 12:49 and counting to go in the ball game. Bloomsburg has the 10-point lead. Truitt now in motion from the right side to left. Mitros under center. He'll hand it off to Quarles up the middle, and not a lot doing. Good job by the Husky defensive unit right there. As they unpile, we'll check the tackler. Brian Sims, number 77, another one of those freshmen, and Jay Brook in on the tackle. So not a lot doing right there for Quarles. And the ball will go to the 9-yard line, so give him just 1. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3 from the Bloomsburg 9-yard line. The yards get a little bit tougher down here right now against this Husky defensive unit. They get stingy. We'll see what happens here. 3rd and 3 from the Bloomsburg 9. Mitros rolls to his left, looking in the end zone for Truitt. He's not open. Now Mitros will tuck it under and try to get the sticks and will not get there. So now it's going to set up an interesting situation. I don't know that Westchester has any decision here. They certainly early in the ball game have not made any decisions on 4th down. They've gone for it. No field goal kicker seen. We'll have a timeout here. They're going to measure it.
No, I think they're going to call Westchester.
Indeed it is. Westchester wants to talk about this big play. 11:46 to go in the ball game. Bloomsburg 24, Westchester 14. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Call coming in this ball game. Westchester faces a 4th and 1 at the Bloomsburg 7th on their 11th play of this drive coming up. The Golden Rams trail by 10. They are going for it here. Quarles is the tailback. Mike Mitros goes straight ahead, and I'm going to tell you what, we're going to get a measurement on this one because he went straight ahead, but not very much of the ahead part. He went straight, but not very much of the ahead.
He went from the center to the right guard, back to the center to the left guard, and Jim,
Yeah, well, Bob Newberry's standing a heck of a lot closer than us, and he's going to call for a measurement. So it started at the 7. It's actually inside the 7, near the 6. They needed a yard, so the measurement coming right here, and it's a big one for Westchester. This could be a real deflator for the Golden Ram offense. Now, they've gone for it 3 times before, and they're only 1 for 3. The sticks are stretching, and it's credit card time, and they indeed get it. Oh, boy, Bob Newberry got down there real close. So give Mitros 1, and it'll be first and goal for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 6. I expected him to reach in his pocket, Tom Lynn, pull out a credit card and try to slide it between the stick and the nose of that ball.
I thought baseball was a game of inches.
Well, that was an inch there. You can book it. Now, first and goal for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 6. Mitros rolls to his right. He's going to keep the football, turn upfield. Flags fly inside the 5 and into the Bloomsburg end zone for a touchdown, but hold it right there because flags are on the ground, and Bloomsburg's doing nothing but pointing at the Westchester Golden Rams.
Yeah, I think you have a back wide receiver in motion.
Well, we're going to check it right here, and indeed it is. Illegal procedure against Westchester, so the Mitros 6-yard touchdown, all for naught. Illegal procedure against the Golden Rams. March that one back 5 yards. It'll set up a first and goal now coming from outside the Bloomsburg 10-yard line at the 11. So first and goal for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 11 following that illegal procedure. Boy, mistakes like that will give coaches gray hair in a real hurry.
And funny-looking bald spots on top.
Well, and that comes from an old coach, folks, and believe me, there ain't all the hair that used to be on that head. First and goal at the Bloomsburg 11-yard line now for Westchester. Following the illegal procedure, Mitros under center. The backs are in the eye again. Quarles dots it. He gets the call, cuts inside the 10 and gets a few yards down maybe near the 8, possibly the 7-yard line for Conrad Quarles. Since he went from that fullback position to the tail, he's had some real success running out of that sprint draw offense. Call it inside the 8. We'll give him the 7. 4 yards for Quarles. Brings up second and goal from the Bloomsburg 7. Some big calls coming here for Westchester. They need points.
Quarles is 64 yards now.
64 yards, and all he wants now is 7 more to get in the end zone. Mitros back to pass. Dumps it out to his tight end, Spinka, on that side. Low, and he overthrew it out there. So the pass goes incomplete. And it'll bring up a third and goal for the Golden Rams. So they tried to go with the quick hitter, and he could not find his receiver in the end zone. It'll be third down.
Jim Roberts, tremendous defense that time.
Third and goal for the Rams of Westchester. 10:45 to go in the ball game. Bloomsburg has a 10-point lead. Mitros rolls to his left, tucks it under again. He'll turn it inside and get down near the 5, and now the huge call comes again. So Mike Mitros, who hasn't done a lot of running in the ball game for some reason, now all of a sudden Tom Lynn has become a runner.
Yep, got to pick up about 2 on the play, maybe 3 at the very most. They're going to mark it at the 4, and we have the field goal kicker in.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Give Mitros the 5-yard line. 2 yards will be fourth and goal at the Bloomsburg 5. So we'll check the spot. It'll be at about the 12-yard line. And Mike Bean will come on, number 83, to attempt it. Greg Bailey's the holder from the 12. It'll be a 22-yard field goal attempt. The snap is down, and the kick is blocked. The kick is blocked by the Huskies of Bloomsburg. Michael Roberts got in there in a real hurry, and Bloomsburg does a great job defensively. The Huskies hold.
Great move. That time what they did is they ran 2 people right at the blocking back, the wing back on the right-hand side, and the first one took the man out, and Roberts come right in between them and blocked it. He was in tremendous position, blocked the ball about 3 yards in front of where it was placed, and that's exactly how you draw it up on the chalkboard.
All right.
Play.
Now, if you're Rick Daniels, do you second-guess yourself? You haven't tried a field goal all day long when we thought he should have. Now he tries it, and it gets blocked. Man, oh man, he makes a decision, and the Golden Rams get nothing out of it. Irv Sigler now off the left side. He's still on his feet, but talk about getting nothing. That's about what Irvin Sigler got right there. Great pursuit by the Westchester defensive unit. 52, Mike O'Neill, and 6, Vince Elsie. Got there in a real hurry, so Sigler gets nothing. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Huskies. ball actually sitting back closer to their 10-yard line. Be 2nd and 10 from the Bloomsburg, just outside the Bloomsburg 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, you could put that run on the highlight film. This is what is called balance.
Westchester now showing blitz. Irv Sigler off the left side, and again, not much doing. So the Huskies keeping it on the ground right now, and Irvin Sigler gets it back close to the 11. Again, we'll call it no gain. Brings up 3rd and 10 from the Bloomsburg 11-yard line. So the Huskies staying on the ground. Now the clock eventually will become an issue. 9:04 to go in the ball game. Plenty of time left. Bloomsburg has the 10-point, 24-14 lead.
Well, they have plenty of time, Jim. They snapped the ball the last time with about 10 seconds on the clock. If you're going to run it here, you run a little more time off, which they're doing right now.
Eric Miller now rolls to his right. Good pursuit by Westchester. He throws it. It's tipped by Boardley, and then caught by Ron Loco. My, oh my, just get him inside. Tom, if you get him within 5 miles of that football, he comes down with the blasted thing.
I don't know how he does it.
Boy, nor do I. Ron Loco with an absolutely outstanding catch. Kirk Boardley tipped it for Westchester. Ron Loco came up with the catch. Now, it's not enough for the first down, but it became close to being intercepted. Give Loco 7 yards on it. Bring up a 4th and 3 from the Bloomsburg 17. Joe Costello on the punt. But boy, oh boy, did they dodge one there because of the great hands of Ron Loco.
8th catch.
The punt away by Costello's a good one. Bill Lowe circles under it at his own 39-yard line and brings it out near midfield. Make it the 43. Brings it out near midfield for Bill Lowe. So a good punt by Costello to the 43-yard line of Westchester. And that's where Lowe got it. He turned it to midfield and into Bloomsburg territory by a couple of feet. We'll call it 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 49.
37-yard punt and 6-yard return.
Mitros now under center with the backs in the eye. The call will go to Thomas Fulton off the left side, and not a lot doing. Jay Zaransky among the Husky defenders getting there in a real hurry and hit him hard. So now we see Thomas Fulton. The Golden Rams have gone with those dual running backs, Fulton and Quarles at the tailback position. Give Fulton a yard on the play, 2nd and 9 from the Bloomsburg 48. Actually, the ball sitting just inside the 49, so he got a generous yard on that one. Mitros under center. Bailey split to the left. Lowe split to the right. The backs are in the eye. Bloomsburg showing blitz, and here they come, and Thomas Fulton not going anywhere.
Roberts coming on the corner.
Michael Roberts and Jay Brook, and boy, they sandwiched Thomas Fulton, and he wasn't going anywhere. It goes back into Westchester territory. We'll call it the Westchester 49, so a loss of 3 for Fulton. Bring up a 3rd and 12 from the Westchester 49.
That's 19 carries for Fulton for 49 yards.
Done a good job on that running back that averages 114 yards a game. Mitros now back to pass, rolls to his right, still looking, now throws it at Bill Lowe. Jay Zaransky met Bill Lowe when the football did and knocked it loose. A big defensive play by the Huskies corners for the 2nd play in a row. Big hit, and Westchester will punt it away.
This is a collision sport. You know, that's the difference between dancing. Dancing's strictly a contact sport.
I'm not touching that one.
Okay.
Mike Bean on to punt. Michael Roberts is deep for Bloomsburg.
Well,
Bean gets it off, and referee Bob Newberry. Bean's on the ground. Gary Fittery hit him. Westchester coaches want a call. There will be none. So Michael Roberts lets that ball die at the Bloomsburg 19-yard line. So no call, even though Bean was on the ground there. And Michael Roberts is on the ground. That ball may have been tipped, so therefore Fittery not called for running into the kicker.
Well, he was also bumped by a blocker, Jim, so I think that's what the ruling really was there.
May have been. Westchester now punts the football away. Bloomsburg 1st and 10 at their own 19. The backs are in the eye. That's Johnson and Sigler. The call goes to Irvin Sigler off this left side and won't go very much. Boy, Westchester showed up there in a real hurry. Number 80 for Westchester making that tackle on a play. Courtney Williams, one of those defensive tackles, got out there in a hurry, and give Williams credit on that. Irvin Sigler goes nowhere. Give him nothing. That's 3 carries in a row now for Irvin Sigler that have netted no yards. That's an accomplishment in itself for the Westchester defense.
That might be in the record book.
2nd and 10 now from the Bloomsburg 19. Sigler gets the call off the right side now. No, he'll throw, or Eric Miller will throw it, and almost intercepted. I thought Irvin Sigler had to call Eric Miller with good play-action fake, and then passed the football, and it was almost picked off by Westchester's Mark Fields, the free safety. So the pass for the Huskies fortunately goes incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
This is the second possession for the Huskies in this fourth period, and Westchester defensively has been at their worst, just plain nasty. I mean, they haven't given up anything.
6:02 to go in the ball game. Bloomsburg 24, Westchester 14. Miller now rolls to his right, looking for Mike Loco. He's gone for all of it. Loco bumped there, and there'll be no flag. So now the Bloomsburg crowd wants the flag. Westchester wanted it on the punt play. The official says no.
So you want to be a ref, do you?
Well, I'm not sure I agree, but I'm allowed to do that from where I'm sitting. And it'll bring up 4th down for the Huskies, so they'll punt the football away.
That's
Joe Costello on.
Funny-looking striped shirt you have.
I never wear stripes, nor will I ever. Joe Costello standing at about his own 5-yard line. Bill Lowe, receiver for Westchester, standing at about his 41-yard line. Huskies been pinned back now, but they've not given up the points. Costello gets the punt away. It's a wobbler. It'll hit about the Bloomsburg 46 and then bounce toward midfield and be down about the 48. So that's where Westchester will have it. Good field position for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 48-yard line. But now Westchester has to get something on the board. 5:45 to go in the ball game. Bloomsburg has that 10-point, 24-14 lead.
28 yards on the punt.
Tom, now Bloomsburg's defense has played very well. What's Westchester have to do?
Well, I think they have to stay right at it. They got to stay at the short passing game, and they don't have Quarles at fullback, but...
Mitros now on the naked bootleg around the right side, and he'll run out of bounds inside the Bloomsburg 40-yard line. So Mike Mitros, who didn't run much throughout most of the ball game, now has turned into one of those threats running the football. He'll go out of bounds at the Bloomsburg 38, so give him 10. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Golden Rams at the Bloomsburg 38, and they'll come right to the line of scrimmage. Mitros under center, Bailey split wide right, Low way wide to the left. The backs are in the eye. The delay to Thomas Fulton off the left side. Boy, the Huskies have defensed that well all day long. Gary Fittery. Well, you can bet that this Husky defense has seen that sprint draw offense enough when their own people run it. So when Westchester runs it, it looks familiar. To the 37, give him 1, 2nd and 9 from the Bloomsburg 37-yard line now. Mitros calling the count under the center. Now rolls to his right, looking. Nobody out there, and he'll throw it away because, boy, some heavy pressure out of Fran Greger, and Bob Newberry throws a flag. The referee should be intentional grounding, and indeed is. Not a wise decision by the Westchester quarterback right there to dump that football. Maybe a sophomore mistake. He's looked like a mature leader all day long and made a mistake there because he dumped it, and he didn't dump it to anybody.
Be a loss of down also, Jim.
Okay, so that'll bring up a 3rd and long now because Mitros had the intentional grounding on the play. The flag was a long time in coming. It finally came. It'll bump it back to the Bloomsburg 49-yard line. So it'll bring up 3rd and 21 from the Bloomsburg 49. Westchester has got to pick up a lot of yardage in a hurry or give the football back to Bloomsburg. It's getting too late to do that in a ball game soon. 5:07 to go. Bloomsburg has the 10-point lead. Mitros under center. Bloomsburg showing blitz. He'll go back on the delay. The sprint draw to Thomas Fulton, and Jay Brook meets him there. So Thomas Fulton on the sprint draw. Jay Brook stops him on the 1-yard gain. It'll bring up 4th and 20 from the Bloomsburg 48. We'll see the punt team come on for Westchester. Tom, that intentional grounding play, boy, it nails you double indemnity.
Yeah, it does.
You throw it away and you lose the pass and you lose the yardage and the down. Mike Bean now in punt formation. Michael Roberts deep for Bloomsburg. Bean gets it off. Roberts will let it hit the ground at about the Bloomsburg 15. It'll roll down inside the 10 and the 5 and down there.
Oh,
so a nice job by Westchester's number 36, Paul Barasevich, that strong safety, to get down there and mark that ball deep in Bloomsburg territory. Now it's going to have to be the Westchester defense that's going to have to come up with the big play. Bloomsburg will have it 1st and 10 at their own 2.
Jim, 44 yards on that punt. Excellent play.
Indeed it was. Barasevich got down there and circled under that punt, let it roll about as far as he thought he could. That decision was made at the 2. That's where Bloomsburg will have it. Irv Sigler about 7 yards deep, dotting that I. Sigler will get the call off the right side and get a few yards off the right side and give Huskies a little bit of breathing room. But right now, hanging on to the football is real important. Bloomsburg has the 10-point lead, 4:12, and the clock is moving.
And the Huskies need to use the most of the clock that they can, and I'm talking about the snap clock of 25 seconds.
Sigler gets 2 yards on the carry. We'll call it the 4.
They come out with 13 to go.
Huskies in the eye. Mike Loco wide to the right. Ron Loco in the slot to the left. Ben Tonin shows blitz on the right side. Irvin Sigler gets to the right side. He'll get outside and out over the 10.
Got a first down, I believe. He's going to be right close to the 12.
We'll check that spot because Irvin Sigler there. Matt Koza coming up from his free safety spot to make the tackle. But not before Irvin Sigler gets it out. We'll call it the 11-yard line. So Irvin will pick up 7. He'll come up 1 yard short. Be 3rd and 1 from the Bloomsburg 11. Boy, this big play for the Huskies. They can get this first down. Westchester's going to have to start burning some timeouts because we're at 3:20 and counting. Bloomsburg has that 24-14 lead, looking to clinch their 4th consecutive PSAC Eastern Division title. Now Kerry O'Brien and Ron Loco making a strong, unbalanced line to the right. Sigler will go that way behind it and get the first down and more. Out over the 15, the 20, still on his feet and knocked out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So Irvin Sigler now doing the groundwork, and he picks up the first down for Bloomsburg and a lot more than that.
Give him 13. He has 142 yards right now.
Call it the 25-yard line indeed. So 13 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 for Bloomsburg at their 25-yard line. More importantly, the clock is moving, and Bloomsburg has the football in the lead. Eric Miller takes the snap and goes straight ahead with John Johnson, the fullback. Not much doing there, but again, Westchester's going to have to start thinking timeouts here. Irvin Sigler will remind you earlier in the ballgame became the all-time leading rusher in the history of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, surpassing Michael Mann of Indiana, PA. Give John Johnson out over the 25, call it the 27-yard line. 2 yards for Johnson, 2nd and 8 for the Huskies. Eric Miller under center. The backs are in the eye. Mike Loco split wide right. Ron Loco now comes back from the right side to block for Sigler. Good job by one of those defenders. That's Koza again, coming from his free safety spot. And it'll be timeout Westchester. We'll take 1-2. 2:19 to go in the ball game. Bloomsburg 24, Westchester 14. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Here, following a Westchester timeout, Bloomsburg will face a 3rd and 7. The Huskies at their own, actually a 3rd and 6. The Huskies at their own 29 following that 2-yard gain by Irvin Sigler. He's in the 140s now for his number and has moved on to the top 30 rushing list for all-time runners in this country at all levels. The call by Eric Miller now on the naked bootleg, and a nice job by Miller on that 3rd down call. He faked Sigler into the line of scrimmage, and Westchester bit for a while, and Eric Miller on the keeper off the right side out over the 30-yard line. We'll check the spot. He needed 6. He did not get to the chains. It'll bring up a 4th down. It'll get to the 33-yard line, so give Miller 4 yards. Bring up a 4th and 2 from the Bloomsburg 33. 2:12, the clock is stopped, and Westchester has burned another timeout. We'll keep it right here. Tom Lynn, we haven't talked too much about Irvin Sigler's records all day long because it's been such a wonderful ball game, but he has now become one of the all-time top 30 leading ground gainers in the history of college football at all levels.
Yep. Westchester also without a timeouts. He is a great back. He picks holes very nicely. He runs through tackles. It takes a load to take him down, and he has proven his stamina here in his career at Bloomsburg University. And I mean, he set some records here that a lot of people will just dream about.
This may be a young man who'll go to the next level. We'll see as his career comes to an end at Bloomsburg University in the next week. Bill Lowe slides under Joe Costello's punt at about the 44-yard line of Westchester. That's where the Rams will have it. But Irvin Sigler will go against the East Stroudsburg Warriors next week at East Stroudsburg, his final game in a maroon and gold uniform, and it has been a wonderful, wonderful career for Irvin Sigler. Tom and I will have that one. Jim and Andy will be following the Berwick, Wyoming area game at Crispin Field next Saturday afternoon, so Tom and I will bring you that one on WJMW. Gary Fittery now rushes in on Mike Mitros, a quarterback. Mitros with no opportunity, but will check a flag. Fittery got there in a real hurry. So we'll check these flags. They're from the linesman and the line judge, so that more often than not means offsides against
Well,
Husky.
I don't understand, why the personal foul face mask.
Oh, boy. So he did not jump the gun. He tackled Mitros for a big loss, but it's going to turn around in the face mask call and go against the Huskies. It's going to be a big march off into Bloomsburg territory. Wow, all the way to the Bloomsburg 41. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Husky, or for Westchester from the Bloomsburg 41-yard line. Inside of 2 minutes now and counting. Bloomsburg has the 10-point lead. Westchester needs points, and they need them in a hurry. Under center, Mitros rolls to his left, still looking, and Justin Vent says hello. He's not gone anywhere there because Justin Vent stayed home. So Mike Mitros is sacked again. This time back outside the 45, we'll call it the 48-yard line, so a loss of 7. It'll bring up a 2nd and 17 from the Bloomsburg 48-yard line.
Second sack of the game.
Mitros now on the delay to Thomas Fulton inside the 45-yard line down to about the 43. So that sprint draw now works effectively for some yards, but they need a whole lot more than some. That clock is running. Westchester's in trouble. Give them the 38-yard line, 10 yards on the play. They needed a bundle more than that. Mitros now under center, 3rd and long yardage, about 12 from the 38. Mitros back to pass, plenty of time, and now gets buried. Oh, boy! Justin Vent circled around from the backside. Make it Tony Brown. Circled around from the backside and absolutely crushed Mike Mitros. He was blocked behind him. Mitros stepped up in the pocket and then got crushed back at the 48-yard line. So a big loss on the play, and it brings up 4th and 16 for the Golden Rams. They have to go for it. 35 seconds of counting. Mitros drops the ball. It's on the ground, and Bloomsburg has it. Tony Brown comes up with the fumble recovery, and this one is all but in the books. Mike Mitros could never handle it. Tony Brown could. The defensive end for Bloomsburg falls on the football, and Bloomsburg's going to come away with the win.
Jim, you realize that's the first turnover in this game, and when this thing started, we threw that around a little bit, and I don't know, our opinions weren't very good, were they?
They usually aren't.
Yeah.
You would expect on a day like this that there would be all kinds of turnovers and everything else. Now, we'll remind you, it did not rain throughout the ball game. Rained hard last night, hard this morning, and the field was very, very wet. In pretty good shape. This field takes it very, very well, and but nonetheless, it was very, very wet. Eric Miller now takes a knee, and that'll about do it. The clock is running, 24 and counting. They may have to run one more play. Miller takes a knee, and that's one of those stats that stinks because he loses some yardage. But the Huskies have begun their celebration. 14 seconds and counting, and now Danny Hale will make his way across the field to meet good old friend Rick Daniels and celebrate a win over his old team, Westchester. Bloomsburg will come away with a win. The final score, the Huskies of Bloomsburg 24, the Rams of Westchester 14. We'll be back with the wrap-up after this 60-second break.
October 28, 1995, Redmond Stadium. Senior Mike Johnson breaks Mike Berrucci's career touchdown record with a scoring run against Westchester.
Early in motion left, Johnson gets the call. He'll try the left side, tries to bounce it to the outside, turns the corner, and gets it for the touchdown.
Fall into the End Zone Sports Bar and Grill for a brand new sports season. Fall sports are in full swing, and the End Zone will be covering all the action on the largest big screen TV in the area. Football, NASCAR, whatever you follow. Why be a couch potato when you can enjoy great company and delicious munchies like the End Zone's pregame appetizers, all-star sandwiches, and great entrees like steak, chicken, and lasagna, all on a home plate. The End Zone Sports Bar and Grill, where all the action is. Exit 34 off I-80 Buckhorn, next to the Quality Inn.
Jim Hollister, Tom Lynn, our spotter Mike Southworth, where the Huskies of Bloomsburg University have clinched their 4th consecutive PSAC Eastern Division title with an impressive 24-14 victory over visiting Westchester this afternoon. The wrap-up in the ball game goes like this. On their second possession of the afternoon, the Bloomsburg Huskies put together a long 7-play, 82-yard drive. Big plays in the drive. 23 yards from Eric Miller to Ron Loco, a 22-yard run by Irvin Sigler, tacked on a face mask and moved that ball to the Westchester 12-yard line.